got the internet? Okay, we're streaming live on YouTube, guys.
Camden, we only got Cox and Dog. We can't see ID.
Hold on.
This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 FM and iTalk1067.com. Also brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Little Bluebird Studios. And now, Sholo Ford presents high school football on iTalk 106.7 and worldwide on iTalk1067.com.
You guys are live.
A very good evening, and thank you for joining us here at Sholo High School, where the 3-5 Cougars are playing host to the 6-2 Lobos, who also check in number 6 in the most recent power rankings. It looks like on the other side of it, though, the Cougars just suffered too many injuries this year and can only hope to play the role of spoiler, as they're going to finish it up with Holbrook. Not going to get much help there, even if they are able to win this one. The Lobos, on the other hand, they're really trying to get everything squared away so they can go in with the best possible position in state. As I'm Derek Palmer alongside Aaron Hewish here, getting you ready for senior night here at Sholo High School, and we'll get you going now with the Ace Hardware keys to the game. Ace Hardware has a 24/7 locksmith. Next time you're locked out of your car, just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week. Call Ace Hardware. Your help will place with 3 locations in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo. Starting with the visiting Lobos, where Ethan Ramage is a senior signal caller. He's thrown for about 110 yards a game, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. What does he bring into the table, Hewish?
He brings leadership. Second year as a starter, Ramage is definitely the commander and captain of this team.
All right, continuing with the Lobos, Brig Turley is a senior running back. He's the leading ball carrier with 741 yards on the year, averaging 6.5 a carry. How's he do?
Briggs' toughness will do good behind that Lobo line this evening.
And then Welcome Chapman is the favorite target for Ramage. He's averaging 27 yards a catch, but when he's able to get his hands on it, he is electric.
He is a playmaker. The senior transfer doing a great job this year fitting into his role with his new team.
And then finally, also in the backfield, we got for the Lobos, Taryn Green. He's averaging 70 yards a game, 6.5 yards per carry. But what does he do most to make this offense run?
Taryn is definitely the blocking back. It's not necessarily the feature back, but because Brigg has all those yards, you got to look because he's running behind the offensive line, but also number 30 there.
So those are the key players for the Lobos as we shift over to the home team and the Sholo Cougars. Keegan Clark is back after suffering a gruesome injury against Thatcher. He's still the second leading ball carrier with 375 yards. He's only missed on 3 passes, but what do you expect to see from him coming off that injury?
I think it'll just be nice to have Keegan back in his leadership role. We're not sure what his health is at, where he's at. My understanding is he did try to play last week. We'll see.
Anthony Avila is up front. He's got 21 tackles solo, 94 total, and he's recovered a couple fumbles as well, but he makes his biggest presence felt on the O-line.
The Cougars are going to rise and fall with running behind number 71 there, Derek.
He's a big one. He's a handful, as those are the keys to the game. Ace Hardware is a 24/7 locksmith. The next time you're locked out of your car or just need a key replaced any hour of the day or night, any night of the week, call Ace Hardware. Your help will place with 3 locations in Pinetop, Overguard, and Sholo. We have more to come here as we get you ready right after this at Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Josh. Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this.
Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job and you can go so many different directions within it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NPC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
Snowflake playing over at Show Low. We're going to send it down for a big mob of people on the midfield to the national anthem.
At Summit Health.
6-2 Snowflake Lobos getting ready to take on the 3-5 Show Low Cougars, as we're getting you ready for it here as we get ready to send it down to senior field correspondent Ron Everingham for the Summit Healthcare Regional Medical Center injury report. Summit Regional Medical Center has everything your athlete needs to get back in the game. Ron, what you got?
Well, we got a healthy you got switch me over.
Well, you want to give
Thanks, Derek. We got a healthy Snowflake squad, and only 2 players out for the Show Low Cougars, and that is the Maxwell boys. Quentin Maxwell out with an ankle, and number 9, Zach Maxwell, out with a thigh injury. But as you mentioned earlier, big news for the Show Low Cougars, Keegan Clark back and Cal Fawcett back after some injuries on their side. So that's all I have for injury reports.
Is Fawcett fully available?
He is going to be fully available. Funny story, I talked to his dad. He actually tested out Keegan Clark a little bit, asked him if he was ready, and smacked him right upside the head. And so I guess he's ready with that jaw injury.
That's one way of testing that. Thank you, Ron. All right, so that's big news there. Cal Fawcett is going to be able to carry. He did not do much of that last week, as they were quite a mash unit, were the Show Low Cougars. So they were bringing in Nick White. Trenton Beeler got most of their carries in the second half, playing without Maxwell and Fawcett, though Fawcett did try to play the duration in the defensive backfield. But it was really impressive watching all these Cougars continue to fight for 4 quarters despite having so many different injuries.
What's interesting is that they actually hung with a very good Payson team, a team that they're kind of their own worst enemy. Payson is to win this region championship, and for Show Low to come out as a mash unit, as you said, and come out tonight, it's going to be interesting to see what we're going to expect from them, especially with Clark back, their leader, their signal caller. We'll see how it goes.
Getting ready here for the number 6 Lobos, who had recently lost to those same Longhorns after 2 wins, and this is quite a thing. You beat Snowflake and Show Low, and you're still number 16 in the power rankings. I tell you what, whoever's going to wind up number 1, as it looks like it's going to be ALA Queen Creek, that probably is not exactly what they're looking for, because those are 2 talented guys.
Well, I think Payson gets a little help tonight from Winslow, and then, again, they got to play a very tough Blue Ridge squad, and there's going to be a lot on the line for that game for the Longhorns. We'll see how they respond to that as we move forward.
Well, we're getting ready here for the coin toss, as the Cougars have had all sorts of festivities with the senior night, as it's chilly. Almost everybody is wearing sleeves of some sort. Some of us has multi-layers of sleeves because it's chilly, it is.
It's definitely football in the White Mountains. There's not really much of a better place most of us would rather be than watching a game on a night like tonight.
So the Cougars are sending out Fawcett, Clark, Avila, and Yeager for the toss here. And we're going to hand it over to Chuck Copeland.
For the Show Low Cougars captains tonight, number 1, Keegan Clark.
Number 24, anybody cold?
Number 71,
I'm cold. We got to start running. That's
a
a head.
83, Jacob
It's a tail. It's a tail. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to catch it. If I don't catch it, I'll pick it up, do it again. Mr. Sneed needs to be able to hear you.
Tail. And linesman Steve Copeland.
It's a tail. You get to choose. Okay, you're going to receive. Which way would you like to kick? That doesn't help me. Which way do you want to kick? Okay, put your backs with Mr. Sneed. Snowflake, come with me. Okay, you won the toss. You will receive. Come out, shake hands again, play hard.
Well, that's a little bit newsworthy there, as the Lobos win the toss and elect to receive.
They must have a lot of confidence in the offense, which is not a bad thing to start a rival game like this. I'm definitely surprised as you are with the choice, but I think if they take the ball here, they can make a huge statement, especially if they score quick.
Well, we've seen them, and they're really cooking. It's when they're feeding Turley and Green. That's not to say that they don't have a capable quarterback in Ramage, but it just looks like when they're really getting all cylinders firing, it's because they're feeding those 2 running backs. And they're going to come out wearing their dark gray hats with white tops and black pants, and the Cougars wearing green up and down. As we are ready to get this one hopping. And are expecting Rex McCrill to come out and kick it away as he's getting loose. Back to receive here for the Lobos. Welcome Chapman and Brig Turley. And it's a kind of pick your poison. So what might you expect here as Show Low attempting to try to keep it away from him, do you think? Just put it on the ground?
I think Show Low's got to be kind of confused why they took the ball to begin with, so I honestly think it might be a mistake to kick to those deep guys. I haven't seen that deep of kicks out of Show Low this year, so I'm guessing it's going to go to the front protectors, and we'll see. But this first drive is going to dictate how this game goes for sure.
Well, incidentally, Taryn Green is one of the guys up at the front and in front of Turley.
We also could expect an onside kick. We've seen that out of Show Low multiple times. That Round Valley game, I think we saw it a few times, and here and there, so they could be expecting an onside just as easy.
All right, this is the Northern Pioneer College kickoff as it's angling toward Chapman. He's going to take this one around the 7-yard line, start moving to his left as he's got some blockers now. Held up as he gets to the 25 and spun down at the 27, but he picks up 20 on the return. And not bad field position here for the Lobos as they get ready to trot out Ethan Ramage. Again, 54% on the year. 110 yards per game and a 10-4 touchdown to interception ratio. But he is probably going to, especially here in the early going, started off by handing it off. You got Brig Turley in the backfield, 741 yards on the year. And Taryn Green, who's also averaging a robust 70 as they come out and will flank Ramage. Actually, we got a jumbo package as up front is Bradley Ruiz. So a couple of extra tight ends out there as a handoff goes to Green. He starts coming from the left to the right and is going to fall forward over the 35, get brought down by Fawcett, but not before he picks up 7. That's a little bit of a surprise.
Looks like Snowflake's going with an up-tempo offense here. Looks like they're getting either a waggle or a play call. Everybody's checking and they're going to in.
No huddle. Is there the handoff is, well, I think that's going to ultimately become a keeper, as I think that might have been a busted play. But, again, following Ruiz out of the backfield, they're going to have 3 yards, and looks like it will be enough for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Kentrell's in there at quarterback right now. I believe that's number 10, the sophomore.
So do you know anything about that?
I don't. I haven't heard anything about that.
Here's Brig Turley, who's going to make it out to the 45 of Snowflake. Another big carry for about 6.
Looks like number 44, Trenton Beeler, came in and made that stop for the Cougars.
So Cantrell playing quarterback. We saw Ramage come out for the toss, but that might explain why Ruiz is in the backfield. Is here they're going to hand it off to Green. He goes over the left side, and again following Ruiz all the way near midfield, and another Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
The other thing they could be doing on this drive is just simply packing the box and trying to demoralize an already beat-up Cougar team and basically say, we're going to do what we want to do tonight and take it right over the top of you.
What are the benefits of putting Ruiz in the backfield?
I don't know. I can't speculate on that one.
Right
Big body blocking.
Right at midfield now as the handoff goes Turley, but this time the Cougars are a little bit more apt to defend the line. It will be a 3-yard gain after Beeler is able to get the stop. But still a manageable 2nd down and 7 as Cantrell remains out there as the quarterback. He's just a sophomore, Caden Cantrell. As he again sets up with Ruiz in a really big backfield, facing 2nd down and 7. Toss it out to the far side where Green is going to nearly get the corner, but will be brought down by the seat of his pants by Cantor.
I'm surprised actually to see the Cougars, after just getting play after play after play, they seem to still be keeping their middle backers at that 4 to 5 yard mark off. There's something that they're seeing that they're not quite ready for when they come up the middle.
3rd down and 5. It's been every play on the ground, and this will continue to be so as Turley is brought down in the backfield after, well, he's going to get out to a 1 yard.
I think we got about a 1 yard gain in there. Who came in on the stop? I'm trying to see. Beeler in again on the stop there.
Also on the play, 4th down and first down.
Well, it looks like they're not wanting to roll the dice, as now Cantrell is still going to be out there.
The personnel's changed. It looks like this could possibly be either a punt squad, the first offense. There's Cantrell back there. Obviously, they're looking for maybe a hard count or something to draw the Cougars offside. The Cougars have no one back, so a timeout's been spent. Their punter wasn't out there.
Snowflake has taken a timeout. That gives us a chance to send it down to senior field correspondent Ron Everingham with some news on the quarterbacking situation for the Lobos.
Yeah, I had a chance to catch up with Ethan Ramage and asked him if he was feeling okay. He said, yeah, he's feeling fine. They just decided to come out in their big truck package to get things started. So he's feeling good, and you'll see him in a bit.
All right. Well, it looked like it had initially caught the Cougars off balance, but they were able to galvanize it midfield.
I think it's interesting, Derek, because you never want to run the same thing in a rivalry game. You always want to add that little wrinkle, and the Lobos came out tonight and decided to use it right off the bat.
Well, the Lobos won the toss, elected to receive. got a couple of first downs out to midfield, but now facing 4th down and a long 4.
I believe Keegan Clark's back to receive this one, so we're going to see right off the bat here how he's doing with the ball in his hands.
Samuel Crockett is kicking it as he has a low line driver that comes off the side of his foot right to left and then takes a huge bounce but into the end zone. And that will go as a touchback. There are no flags on the field, so they take the kick after winning the toss and are going to ultimately just have the Cougars starting out on their own 20. And here comes Keegan Clark, and this is a hotly anticipated re-entry. Oh, no, check that. This is Colton Yeager who's going to come out and play quarterback for the Cougars. Clark will come out split wide on the near side and play receiver. In the backfield is Trenton Beeler. As under center goes Yeager, and the handoff goes Beeler as he is met at the line, but he's able to fall forward after picking up 3.
Looks like he was initially met by number 30, Taryn Green. And as we talked about Taryn in the pregame, we didn't kind of state about how he's done on defense. He's playing that middle backer real well.
An interesting usage of Keegan Clark on punt return, and now as a wide receiver.
He's a wideout.
Single man out here, split wide left as Yeager goes under center, and this time going to give it to Fawcett, who's going to pitch it around on the reverse to Clark, who's going to get the seam as he goes toward the far sideline. He's at the 40, now with the open field. 50, 40, outrunning everybody. He's at the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Keegan Clark, 67 yards on the score.
Derek, when you see a reverse like that, is my mind, I look back for flags, and I didn't see any dropped. It looked like a pretty clean play, and I guess, can we safely say the question about Keegan Clark has been answered here in the first little bit?
Well, there was a question about body mass after having his jaw wired shut, but apparently he didn't lose any of his steps.
I got to admit, I've met the young man. He's a very tough young man. He's a very good athlete. He's an even better young man than he is a ball player. And I was really worried about him and how he was going to come out and respond. But I think he's doing okay.
McCrill in for the extra point. It's up and away. And good. Both teams coming out with a little bit of changes of pace. As you can see here, Keegan Clark outrunning the Snowflake defense. And welcome back, young man, as he's given his team a 7-0 lead here with 8 minutes and 11 seconds to play in the first quarter. The Cougars are up here at Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Out there?
I don't think I saw him at all, and if he was, he wasn't in on any of the stops that we looked at. We're watching a very small portion of the overall game.
We'll have to try to keep our eye out there. Is the expectation anyway was he was going to be playing quarterback, because this one's kicked high and short and taken by one of the up men at the 20-yard line.
I think that's Payson Carden.
As he takes it over the 30 and eventually falls down at the 32. So good field position after Aguilar is able to bring him down, but the Lobos have been put on notice.
Well, I saw the jumbo package. I'm not sure what they refer to it as come out. We'll see what they do here. Maybe Ramage comes back out and we start seeing more of their traditional offense that they've run all year. But I did like the wrinkle early in the game to go with the jumbo package. It just kind of gave Sholo some field position, and we saw what happened.
Keegan Clark is out and playing cornerback for the Lobos.
Cougars.
Or for the Cougars, beg your pardon, is back out there at quarterback now from the shotgun is Ramage, as he's got running backs on either side. Goes Turley, who comes from the left to the right and is brought down by Avila after a relatively short game. We'll give him 2.
I also believe that, was that 83 Jake Yeager in on the tackle as well? It looks like Jake Yeager kind of crashed in from that defensive spot and was able to trip him up, as we see right there on the replay.
This is a big possession now here early in the first quarter. Is all sorts of momentum now wearing green. 7-0, the Cougars are up. Got Turley on the left of Ramage, Green on the right, facing 2nd down and 8 as Ramage drops back. He's pressured, trying to set up the screen, but he throws it a little bit too wide and away from Green to make it now 3rd and long.
You know, Derek, as I was sitting thinking about this game on the way over here today, one of the things I thought about is I kind of expected that the first quarter might be close. The second quarter is going to dictate how the game will go. So if you're a Cougar fan, I wouldn't get too excited just yet. I would be a little on edge the whole game here until the second half. Kind of like what happened in the Blue Ridge game. They were 14-7 going into that fourth quarter, and Blue Ridge scored 3 times on them to win that game. So you got to take that into consideration.
3 receivers going to the left of the line. Green is the lone man. No, that's Turley in the backfield. No, that is Green, as they're again going toward the far side of the floor. He gets a block from Green. Just Ramage is able to find a man set up at the 45-yard line. It's caught with enough for a first down. I couldn't see who got his hands on that one.
That's for Ramage complete.
Is that's going to be McVicker, who has a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down and a pickup of 13.
Receiver on play, but that catch is good for a Lobos first down.
So move it out to the Snowflake 45. The Lobos are trailing 7-0. Just a 2-play drive for the Cougars on their first possession. This is right around the spot where the Lobos drive died, as they're actually set up here on the 44-yard line. They got running backs, bigger partner on either side of Ramage. Going to go Green as he tries to get to the left of the line, pick up a yard, but nothing more.
As we watch the replay here, look at what Sholo's doing on that interior line as we move forward. It looks like they're just collapsing and closing those holes inside.
2nd down and 9. As now the Lobos going to have to play a little bit behind schedule.
I see him giving the ball to Brigg here.
There's the give as he's trying to come to the right side, but again met by 3 players at the line of scrimmage for a short gain.
Derek, my question to you right now is how much of this Cougar squad is playing with pure emotion right now, being the rivalry game, being senior night, being all the festivities that surround it?
Get number 1 back. That's a shot in the arm. I think that might be a lot of it there, as they're especially fired up after watching Clark come back and get that big run.
Well, I think we said in the pregame, you can't underestimate his leadership.
Yeah.
3rd and long.
Receivers coming on either side, as Green is going to be the single back. Shotgun snap had by Ramage, trying to come to the near side, where it's a dangerous pass, but again hauled in by McVicker. And just a little bit late on the turn there was Beeler, but he had an opportunity to pick that one up. Instead, it's going to go for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down after a 12-yard pickup.
Beeler, a junior, a little bit of inexperience there. At the same time, though, if he jumps that route and he catches it, he gets quite a few more yards down the field. So good play by the young man.
Move it into Sholo territory for the first time down at the Cougar 43. 1st and 10 and using the pistol formation as the hand is, it's faked to Green and now pressured as he's running out of the pocket nearly with the football loose. Instead, he's going to get all the way down to the 30 and have a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. Ethan Ramage was flirting with disaster.
Ethan Ramage has more escapability than I think he's given credit for. Ethan did a great job there. I have a gain of about 13. Is that what you have on the play sheet?
Referring to his escapability as much as he was just waving that football around.
Ethan is a pretty athletic young man, and he's actually quite tough for, as some would say, a quarterback.
7-0, he's trailing as they're going to use the pistol with Green behind him. Trips going to the left, single man near side. Is that a little broken play, I think, but instead they're going to be able to turn this one into positive gain as this one's thrown out to Cantrell, and he's got it 8 yards.
Sholo's not having a lot of success on that outside rush getting to the quarterback. As we see here on the replay, Ramage is able to get that ball out extremely fast, extremely quick, find his receiver. Looks like he even fumbled a little bit there, picked up, kept it, and was down by 2 steps before he could.
3 of
they
4
could get to him.
For 33 yards, sets up this 2nd down and 2 plays. The handoff goes Green. He runs through one tackler, nearly through another as he crosses the 20 and is brought down after a 6-yard gain and has a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Avila was in there on the tackle again. He's a force in the middle, both sides of the ball.
Into the red zone go the Lobos. They trail 7-0, 4:45 to go in the first quarter of play. They've had the ball for almost the entirety of this first quarter. The Cougars just needed 2 plays to go 67 yards and get the score. Receivers going to the left, but instead going to hand it off Green. He's again met in the backfield by Yeager. He's able to force his way to the 15 and pick up 2.
Yeager came from his defensive end spot yet again to help close that middle. Their defensive linemen are doing a good job of causing havoc there in the middle and causing Jaegers coming in and able to keep that ball from bouncing.
Snowflake huddling up. I think this is the first time we've seen that, as Ramage is still looking toward the sideline to get a play. This is taking an awfully long time.
It's a 40-second clock now.
They're going to use a lot of it.
Yeah, the clock's running. They'll be fine.
Got it on the 15, facing second down. And, well, they're calling it 9. I thought it was closer to 7, as there's a shotgun snap, fake the handoff to Green, instead trying to get it to the backfield where it was caught and brought down almost immediately. Turley can't get away from Beeler.
Great job by Beeler of reading that and coming in and making the, can't really call it shoestring. How about lower shirt tackle?
There's Turley's first reception. Ramage now 4 of his first 5, but for 34 yards, facing a 3rd and 7.
Derek, with
7-0.
That play action there, it caused those middle backers just to flinch a little bit at Green and honor that before. So Beeler made a great, almost touchdown-saving play there for his team.
Again with the 4-receiver set, trips going to the left. Pressure coming from the far side as they're going to set up the screen, and it's nearly intercepted, trying to find Turley, but an excellent play defensively there from Jack Baird.
They have Jack Baird listed as an O-line D-end, so my guess is he came from somewhere on an outside, but with all the injury the Cougars had, not sure where he's playing, but did a great job and bailed there and was able to knock that ball down.
Samuel Crockett is on the field, as it looks as if the Lobos are going to try to just make sure they come out of the red zone with some points. They're trailing 7-0 after the incompletion. The clock is stopped at 3:06 as Cantrell is going to kick it away.
No, Cantrell's holding.
All right, Cantrell, beg your pardon, as they're looking at a 31-yarder that's up and away and good, so they will get some points. But after hurrying into the red zone, perhaps a little bit of a disappointment for the Lobos. They'll still trail 7-3 with 3 minutes and 1 second to go in the first quarter. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
For the Cougars is Trenton Beeler and Manuel Aguilar. Kicking this away is Crockett, as it's low, and will take a bounce around the 15. Going to go toward Aguilar. He takes it at the 10. Waiting for his blockers to set up as he goes over the 25, still on his feet as he gets down to the 29. And it'll be good field position for the Cougars, who lead 7-3. Get what we thought was their senior signal caller and Colton Yeager back, but he has instead been coming out split wide to the near side, and it was able to get it on a reverse. It went 67 yards for the only touchdown that's been scored. Doesn't look like he's coming out now, as Yeager is still in as the quarterback, as the handoff is given to Fawcett, who's able to fight his way over the left of the line and get over the 35 to the 37.
Fawcett up in it by number 32, Josh Sullivan, and number 9, Jacob Ballard. For 9 yards, 2nd and 1 coming up for the Cougars.
All right, that was a 9-yard gain from Fawcett to make it 2nd down and 1. And this Cougar offense is picking up some big chunks as Beeler and Fawcett are in the backfield. And a man moving off to the slot. Oh, and now we got Clark in there as the quarterback, who's going to get stood up in the backfield and dropped for a loss.
That's a huge play for the Lobo defense right there. Loss of about 4. That puts them quite a bit behind now, as brings up 3rd and a little bit less than 5. And the Cougars are going to have to play catch-up here.
Was Yeager playing quarterback on the first play? Yeah, so they're
Yeager
shuttling and play different quarterbacks. This is going to be hard to keep track of.
I believe Yeager came in at quarterback now, and Clark is actually off.
So Yeager goes under center. Fawcett is in the slot off the left of the line. Beeler behind Yeager, who's going to get the call, tries to go over the left side and is near the yard marker. It might have, yes, the surge is going to get him out to the 40 and have enough for a Mount Mobile Auto Glass first down.
I'm reading the headlines been here, and he's stopping the clock, which means we're moving the chains.
7-3, Show Low leading with 1 minute and 34 seconds to go here in the initial. As back off the sideline goes Clark, and he'll come out for this 1st and 10 play from his own 40.
Carter Solomon with a great stop in the middle there for the Lobos.
Two receivers coming to the left. Nick White will go behind Clark, who goes under center with Fawcett again lined up in the slot. Handoff White as he again tries the left side of that line, gets down to the 43, pickup of 3.
Derek, I'm not sure my math is right here, but I look on that play. It looked like they brought Yeager in as the tight end, and they had a trip set, so they had a quads look out wide here towards their sideline. Something interesting that we don't see too often at this level.
Clark is going to remain out there as the quarterback. And facing now 2nd and 7. This could potentially be the final play of the quarter.
I believe this is going to be the final play of the quarter, but stranger things have happened. And Clark is in at quarterback.
Keenan Cantor now in the slot on the left with Fawcett off on the right. Beeler is in the backfield as Clark goes under center and will keep it himself. And now he finds a seam again going up the right side. Dodges a couple of tacklers and nearly brought down in the 20-yard line by Welcome Chapman.
Welcome Chapman saved the Lobos on that one. As soon as the clock sets here, they're going to, or as soon as the chains are set, they're going to start the clock. Sholo will have the option to either run it or take the time. Clark's looking like he's a little gassed coming off there. He's got his hands on his hips and doesn't look like he's, in 100% right there.
37 yards on that run. He's now got an even 100 as he's got his team and nearly in the red zone, already leading 7-3 as we'll have the second quarter for you right after this. The Cougars are in front and are again knocking on the door. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
He's hurt.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
As he goes into he's on the sideline right now, so not on the field anywhere. Now Snowflake can't get a guy off the field as this is handed off to Beeler as he's met at the line, but here comes the flag, as I think that the Lobos had 12 men out there.
We've got two flags. We've got the back judge and the linesman throwing a flag. We're going to have some illegal participation.
So it looks like an illegal substitution is whistled against the Lobos.
Illegal
that's
substitution, Snowflake, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So it's still first down. 7-3, Show Low leading. And right now almost all of the yardage is off of Keegan Clark's legs. He's not right now out there as he looked like he got brought down pretty aggressively by Welcome Chapman as he was just trying to save the touchdown. And Clark right now back at the 35-yard line of the Cougars, having a little bit of a conversation and huddled up as there. This play is blown dead, and a false start is going to give the 5 yards right back.
This is a procedure goal against the Cougar offense, and that'll cost them 5 yards.
Do we have an injury report on Clark yet, Derek?
We'll get that up for you as soon as we can. He's playing his first game since Thatcher in week 4. As
Looks
he
like
has not had his helmet taken away from him, so that's a positive sign. But not on the field either, as his team's leading 7-3 and now ready for 1st and 10 after 2 tries. A man comes in motion as Fawcett. Instead, the handoff goes Beeler trying the right side of the line. He gets inside the 20, but is brought down after just 2 yards.
Taryn Green in the stop for the Lobos right there. Great job from his linebacker position to come up and read that, make that tackle. However, 2.5, 3-yard gain on the play.
Let's send it down to Ron Everingham, who's got a Keegan Clark update.
You know, Keegan talking to his coaches, and he seems to be doing okay. I think he's just a little unsure about his injury, and he did say he got his head knocked forward, and the coaches are handling him perfectly. They're just asking him to take a little bit of time, make sure you're ready to go back out there.
All right, thank you, Ron. Is here the 2nd down and 8 play is faked, and now Yeager chopping back. He's got a man wide open in the end zone, but Whipple can't bring it down.
Is it safe to say an opportunity missed there?
Oh, I think Whipple was way too open. He was expecting somebody to crowd him up, but
I kind of think that back line of the end zone was playing a little bit of 12th-man defense on him, too. I'm not sure if he catches that, if he has the 1 foot in bounds to make it work, if he bobbled it like he did.
Clark and Yeager both coming out, as I would anticipate Keegan Clark to go wide to the left. Indeed he does, as he's joined by Keenan Clark. And a timeout now being taken by the Cougars, who are going to get something set up here, facing 3rd down and 8 with 10:34 to play in the half. They lead 7-3. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, lit to smile, love your smile.
The Lobo 18 already leading 7-3. Keegan Clark has 100 yards on 3 carries, and before that timeout was called, had come off the sideline, was ready to go split wide left. He's back out there with Fawcett, as Beeler is going to be in the backfield behind Yeager. Yeager goes under center. He's got a single-man split wide on the right side as well, as there's the faked give, rolling to his left, looking upfield where he's going to try to hit Fawcett, but it was in triple coverage and falls incomplete.
Great job by Payson Carden of the Lobos there with some pursuit.
Intended for number 24, Cal Fawcett.
So 4th down, Sholo hasn't demonstrated a lot of confidence in its kicking game, facing a 4th and 8 situation.
I think that last play was designed to get him 3-4 yards and then set this up 1st down, but instead we're looking at a long 7, if I'm not mistaken there, that they're going to have to do to get this 1st down. Otherwise, the Lobos are going to get the ball back with some momentum.
Clark is going under center with Nick White behind him. Fawcett's in the slot. 2 receivers to the near side, as he has his line set, takes the snap, handed off White, tries to go to the right side, gets over to the 15, but is going to be 3 yards short. It'll be a big stop there for the Lobos.
Huge stop for the Lobos. It puts the momentum back on offense, and very dangerous with those running backs of theirs.
So the Lobos gave another big play up, but Welcome Chapman has a touchdown saving and a drive-altering stop as he was able to track down Clark. Clark had just outrun everybody in the Lobo defense, so that might be evidence of his lack of stamina there being tracked down by Chapman.
Also, the tackle that Chapman put on looked like it took a little bit of toll on Clark there.
7-3, the Lobos back out there trailing, as they got Turley and Green on either side of Ramage, with receivers also on either side. Instead, the give goes Turley as he tries to go left to right and is stopped for 2 yards. Well, maybe 3. Cougars have done a great job here on both of these low ball carriers, as there's 6 carries apiece for Turley and Green. Turley has 17 yards, and Green has just 23.
I believe Beeler came in on the stop there. By my count, I think that's his 4th or 5th tackle of the night already.
Second down, they're calling it 7. As the handoff this time is fake to Green. Pitch it out to Turley, trying to kick it out to the right side, but he can't get the edge as he goes over the 20 and is stopped at the 22. Well, maybe the 20. No, he's right on the 20.
Derek, question for you is, as we approach the midway through the second quarter here, how much of the Lobos being on offense and the time of possession going to wear on this Cougar defense?
I think that's a fair question. They're playing without Maxwell's both, so they're still a little undermanned. But this would be a big stop now, facing 3rd and 5. Same formation as the shotgun snap is had. Now Ramage starts dropping back, allows everybody to run upfield, is able to eventually get it out to the 30-yard line at McVicker, who's going to get spun down at the 40. Pickup of 20 yards and a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. McVicker has been by far Ramage's favorite target.
Ramage did a great job of stepping up in the pocket there and finding his receiver. The Cougar rush has been intense, but they just have not been able to get to him, so credit that offensive line for the Lobos.
Move it out to the Snowflake 40. They're trailing 7-3 with 9 minutes to play in the half. Ramage now 5 of 7 for 54 yards. As his favorite target in McVicker is off on the right side. Instead, they're coming back to the left, and Cantrell's got it over midfield, has enough for a first down, runs right over Clark, or Cantor. But he's able to get the stop eventually, but not before the Lobos pick up 15.
Great job by Cantrell there of just lowering the shoulder and taking on the defender. I think he got an extra, possibly 2 yards by just playing some smash mouth football. There you go.
Move it into Sholo territory. Same formation again for the Lobos. This time handed off. No, fake the handoff as he got it over to a wide open Cantrell. Tries to go along the 35, but he is eventually stopped. But is going to be very close to another Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. Indeed, moved the chains, and it has turned into the Ethan Ramage show.
Cooper Irvin in on the stop there for the Cougars. Came back and met Cantrell there.
That's now 3 catches for 33 yards for Cantrell.
I see the Lobos sticking with the short passing game. There's no reason to let up on it. Ramage is finding and shredding this defense right now.
Rep Brimhall right now lined up on the near side where they're going to instead hand it off. Turley spins away from one tackler in the backfield, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picks up a yard.
I think now you'll see a 2nd and long, almost a 2nd and 10. I think you're going to go back to that short passing game by Ethan. Ethan doing a great job of stepping up in the pocket and finding his receivers. He has his favorite targets out wide.
Well, Brimhall's got a lot of space here on the near sideline. Is there 2 players looking like they're ready to bring pressure off the left edge? Ramage now looking back at the sideline. Haven't deviated from this formation with receivers on either side as well as running backs on either side of the quarterback who's in the shotgun. Handed off, going away from that rush as they go to Green. Gets over the 30 and is brought down at around the 26 and very close to a first down.
Taryn Green, the big junior, he's just a force. The young man works so hard in the weight room. He does a lot, brings a lot to this team. He has such a quiet demeanor and shows right there what he's capable of. Just a great job by him.
Sets up a manageable 3rd and 2 as Ramage hurries to the line, gets under center, is going to try to keep it for 2 yards. Needs to get to the 25, and he might have done it.
I think he got it. I think the head linesman there is stopping the clock, and they're going to signal it first down.
Now 15 yards on 2 carries for Ramage. That's the sort of opportunity you usually see when you need less than a yard, not a full 2.
Great job.
Big surge as they're now at the Sholo 25 with 6:52 to go here in the half, trailing 7-3, but marching. Going back to those receivers and backs on either side as Ramage has the shotgun snap, starts rolling to the right, throws it into traffic. It's going to be caught at the 15 and then run inside the 10 by McVicker.
Big game for the Lobos.
McVicker all year has seemed to come up with those big catches when it's mattered most.
Now 8 of 10 for 99 yards is Ramage. That 20-yard gain gives McVicker 65 yards. 7 of the 8 receptions have been thrown to McVicker and Cantrell, to, dare I say, seldom used receiving targets through much of the year.
Doesn't matter seldom. They're being used now, and they're doing a great job.
Ball's on the 6.
Looks like Cantrell's back in.
Cantrell spins away from one man and then is going to be brought down. Oh, and fumbles the football. It's going to be fallen on by Rich Lee.
Derek, something here. We're going to get the advantage of the replay. we're going to get the advantage to look and see if he was close to being down or if that ball was just stripped out right there.
Well, Ridge Lee. Oh, no.
No, that ball's out. That is
Ridge
a
Lee
great.
is going to have the strip and recovery.
Great job by the officiating staff here tonight to see that. Did what they needed to do. More importantly, Derek, that's the second red zone non-touchdown for the Lobos tonight, and that's a little bit of a scary proposition moving halfway through this second quarter.
Clark and Yeager are both back out there. Clark's going to come to the right side and line up as a receiver. Yeager goes under center. I think that's Beeler who's behind him as this one starts on their own 10. Leading 7-3, dropping back all the way to the goal line. Now going to wind up and find Clark, caught outside the 20, and has enough for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
I think there, too, that's something they were looking for on that third and long earlier. They were able to complete it there, but now they're a little bit more pressure off their backs being out of the safety.
Keegan Clark now with 110 total yards, as that's his first reception. He's off the field now as receivers go out wide left. Yeager still in there. Nope. Yes, that is Yeager.
I think we're going to get a false start.
And another false start. That, I think, is going to be the toughest thing as they're utilizing two.
False start.
So, again, Derek, we talked about it. Momentum's a scary thing in sports. Do we see a momentum shift here? Or do we see the Lobos being able to keep their composure, make a stop, and take it in here?
That'll move him behind the chain, 2nd and 15. Remember that Snowflake Lobos won the toss and elected to receive, so the Cougars could very well hold on to this one for a bit and then come out and get it to start the second half. Already they lead 7-3.
You know what? They haven't been. They've had that one big play out of the end zone right there, but they're a little bit behind 1st and 15 here. It'll be interesting to see what they dial up to come up with.
Yeager, a sophomore quarterback under center. As he turns, nope, he fakes the give, trying to go upfield. He's looking for Jake Yeager, but can't get this one. It was just a bit outside his grasp.
I'm going to look for a little bit. I think that was a little bit dangerous throw on the young sophomore quarterback's part. It looked like, are they brothers, do we know?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are. So looking for his brother. Maybe they'll have a little talk when they get around the dinner table this Sunday about maybe let's not throw into double coverage. But more importantly, we got a 2nd and 15 coming up.
2nd and 15. As Nick White is in the backfield, Yeager under center. Fawcett coming in motion, and they fake the give to him. Instead, go with White, who's going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage. No, Fawcett does get that one.
Derek, I look for the Lobos on this next play. We got 3rd and long coming up here. I look for the Lobos to dial up some major pressure coming up through the middle, which they haven't brought yet, and we'll see how the Cougars respond to it.
You can get an idea about Fawcett's health as well. That's just his 2nd carry. And he ran into one of his blockers. That's going to be what upended that one. It's like he got Aguilar.
It doesn't look like he has a huge brace on there from the replay that we're seeing. It doesn't look like it's hindering him much. He was able to make that cut, of course, even after he ran into his own player.
Keegan Clark off the sideline, going to go out wide to the left. Looks like you're going to give him a little bit of safety help as the handoff instead going to try to get the reverse to Clark as he's got to get away from one man in the backfield but can't get away from another as he's going to be brought down in the open field by a nice tackle there. I think that was Flake. No, it was not. It's going to be Coy Schwartz.
25 Coy Schwartz.
Gain of 4 on the play. 4th and 10.
Still 4 yards on the run to make it 4th down and a lot. And after getting the turnover on 1st and goal, the Cougars are set to kick it away to a couple.
Wyatt, Welcome Chapman, and looks like Jacob Ballard are back for the Lobos.
Chapman more toward the center of the field. Ballard to the near sideline. Is this one? Well, no flags down as this one takes a Cougar bounce back into Sholo territory. But I think that
again, we'll have the advantage of the replay if he
I think
was
Yeager
able
might
to
have
run
moved
into
the
him.
pocket.
And is down at the Lobo 44-yard
So
line.
when you start doing the Aussie style kicking, that takes away the possibility of having a roughing flag.
It's an evolving game. They've evolved to make it safer, and also situations like that.
4 minutes, 17 seconds to play here in the half. And the
huge opportunity for the Lobos.
Need some points, trailing 7-3. As from the shotgun is Ramage with receivers on either side, and I think that Cantrell might have bounced a little too early, right in front.
Snap, false start. Snowflake.
Never good to step in front of the referee when you're offsides. I mean, I don't know if that's football 101, but it might be football 102.
Moving back to the 40. There have been an awful lot of 5-yard flags, but otherwise it's been played pretty cleanly. We got some Snowflake students that have just run. Run in front of the Sholo crowd, and then somebody spills them. Now, meanwhile, over in the football game, where tackling is expected, there's a flag down as the Lobos run to the far sideline, but this one's coming back.
Derek, is it too late to have a glass-shattering play? Did we catch that on camera at all? Because what happened is we had
penalty, repeat it down.
That was a nice collision. I actually believe that might have been one of the executive student council members for Snowflake involved with that. I'm not going to speculate because we have a game on the field, but that was might be our glass-shattering hit. I don't think it's allowed if it's not on camera, though.
Well, if nothing else, those fellas got something to think about the next time they went to taunt with flagging.
Those are the type of flags we like to see.
Second down and 23. No, first and 23 after a hold negates a pretty good run for the Lobos. So they're all the way back to their own 30 as the handoff goes to Turley. No, Green, as he tries to come right to left and is stopped after just a 2-yard gain.
Derek, this is going to be interesting. We got a second down and back to Lakeside to go.
Number 30, Cooper.
Man.
There's been lots of success finding Cantrell and McVicker. McVicker is not out there right now. Instead, coming to the near side with Cantrell is Ref Brimhall.
I love the play calling for the Lobos tonight. So unpredictable, able to show some of their best stuff, using some people that haven't been involved.
Ramage with time to throw as he's got a man downfield, but can't hit Flake.
That's from number 8, Ethan Ramage,
intended for Taylor Flake, number 7, the senior.
Will be third down for Snowflake.
Oh, he had him. He had him going down the far sideline. He had all sorts of time to throw.
I sure do like what Ramage is doing here and finding these different receivers. I think that's the intended target. That's the 5th or 6th guy we called.
Ooh, he had him. He had him. And he had room to run after he brought it down, but Flake couldn't get it. It's his third down now and 21. Short drop for Ramage. Now starts moving up in the pocket, trying to go over the middle, looking for Cantrell, but it's not. A little bit too far in front of him, and Cantor had an opportunity to pick, but I think he was also looking up to light up Cantrell.
Derek, look at the replay here. Look at the job of Ethan Ramage stepping into that pocket that the offensive line gave him. Look at that drop. He steps up in that pocket. Look at those men and what they're able to do for him. Great job with the 5 men up front.
Clark back to receive a punt. He's been dangerous when he gets the ball in his hands, already with 114 total yards. Crockett's going to kick it away for the Lobos, who trail 7-3.
And we have another Lobo finding his way back on the field.
Coming up, Chapman, who's the long snapper, sends this one up a little wobbly. Now we have to get this away from a couple of rushers as Clark asks for a fair catch and takes this one with Chapman right in front of him. Two great athletes squaring off as this one's fair caught at the 38 and an opportunity again for the Cougars, who lead 7-3 with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left.
Clark in there for the punt, and he's going to find his way off the field right now. What do you see from the Cougars here, Derek? They got 3 minutes, 2 timeouts. It's a drill you work on every once in a while in practice, maybe every week, sometimes every day. See what they can do here with 3 minutes left.
Got Colton Yeager out there, who's 1 for 4 for 10 yards. Almost all of the Cougar offense has been from Keegan Clark. As a man comes in motion, they fake the give to Cantor. Yeager now drops back, winds up. He's looking downfield, where is again nearly hot, but in and out of Yeager's hands. The second costly drop here for the Cougars.
Number 83, Jacob Yeager.
I don't know.
Wiggins dropped one in the end zone, and there Yeager would have had that one for
I think that's
20.
a 20-yard gain.
Yeah.
20-22 there.
And just right in and out of his hands.
25. 25 yards.
So second down and 10 as One man out wide to the right. Man in motion out of the slot is Fawcett. Instead, handoff goes to White, who's going to be upended at the 40 by Turley. Just gains 2, 3rd and long.
Now maybe that 3 minutes is playing into against Sholo here because not using a timeout. That dropped ball is going to be intriguing coming up for this halftime. Because the Lobos, if they play this right, could get the ball with some significant time on the clock.
Keegan Clark is not on the field as Yeager goes under center. White, the single back, or is that Beeler? Beeler's back there. There's a short drop from Yeager. Comes to the near side, and it's a nearly dropped, or is it brought in? Wilford will bring it down. Now, well, we got the back judge coming out and saying he did not handle it.
Pastor Yeager incomplete, intended for number 20, Jake Wilford. That'll bring a 4th down for the Cougars.
So 2 huge drops for the Cougars, as that makes it 4th and 8.
Also, it stops the clock being an incomplete pass, Derek, and he did drop it. Great call by the back judge, Mr. Scott Baker, out there coming in, waving that as an incomplete pass.
Ballard and Chapman are going back to receive this kick. Yeager is asking for an 11th man, and Fawcett will provide. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go. 7-3 the Cougars lead, but are going to turn it over to the Lobos. Wait a minute. That might have taken too much time.
Ball part of the snap.
False start.
34.
Derek, the Lobos are going to get primo field position with, I believe, 2 timeouts and 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah. And the Cougars right now thinking about what might have been 2 big drops, 2 huge drops, 2 first downs.
1 in the end zone, 1 for, actually that's 3 big drops.
Well, I was just thinking of that last drive. Now
the drive,
moved
correct.
back for another 5 yards and got a dangerous return man waiting for this as they're moving the pocket again, kicking this one away as Ballard's going to run up on ahead. Have it up and fumbled. It's loose. And the Cougars got it.
Ballard looked like he bobbled it there, and it went over to the Cougars.
But Jacob Ballard thought he was going to get that one with momentum. But instead, it took a dive right before he was able to get to it.
First of all, let's talk about the punt. The punt was a great punt, hung. Defenders were allowed to get down there and just kind of clipped off Ballard, and I thought Yeager rolled over on it. It was Yeager rolled over on it, but Aguilar
were both there, and then eventually coming away with it. Well, we can't get that for you. Is there a handoff going to the right of the line over the 30 for 2 yards is Yeager.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Yeager was able to get the yardage he did there. He had the pitch man out wide, but was totally covered.
So now with 1 minute and 53 seconds to go and 2 timeouts is the Cougars with an opportunity. Remember, they're going to get the ball to start the second half. They lead 7-3 currently, facing 2nd down and 8 from the 30 for the Snowflake 30 after the second costly fumble. Beeler is in the backfield as he gets the go. They're going to go away from him to Fawcett, trying to come from the left to the right, but stopped by Turley as he gets to the 29.
Credit Fawcett for the hard run there, but also I believe that's is that Coy Schwartz, 25? Great job by Coy to come in and make that stop.
So they couldn't get anything going after the previous fumble. Now with just 70 seconds to work with, it looks like they might be content just to take a 7-3 lead into the locker room.
They do get the ball, which is what we've talked about twice already.
Beeler in the backfield, and instead of Eddie Gibbs, there's Yeager running away from Chapman, but the pass is going to be completed to Beeler, who runs inside the 20 and all the way down to the 10.
You know, Derek, I've watched quite a few games of Sholos this year, both live and on tape, and Beeler seems to be kind of just a sturdy back, does what he needs to do, gets down the field.
We saw Yeager take some tough hits last week, and then I think that was Chapman, but he was able to deliver to Beeler and get this one now 1st and goal with 38 seconds and the clock moving, and now Cougars have realized and have taken a timeout.
I think they lost about 13, 14 seconds there after the chains were set.
7-3, though, they lead, and they'll have an opportunity for a few cracks into the end zone. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their
all I can
professional
say
staff.
is
Dr.
that
Beeler and his team have the
I am
latest in
impressed.
orthodontic
Beeler's been my
technology, and they
all
work
year.
with each patient
It seems like he gets the crap
to
yard.
custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, lit to smile, love your smile.
Goal for the Show Low Cougars, who just were able to get inside the 10 with Yeager, who got punched as he was able to, just in the nick of time, deliver to Trenton Beeler. During the break, though, you were celebrating what he's able to do with those tough yards.
Beeler, I've seen all year, just seems to be the guy that comes up on the, he doesn't have the most yards, he doesn't have all the yards, but he just seems to be the guy that gets it when it's needed and when it matters most. You saw him come up there, his shirt's hanging out.
Keegan Clark's going back out.
Clark going back out. But Beeler just seems to be the guy that just isn't afraid to stick his nose in and get it dirty.
And he's going to play quarterback for the Cougars. Got 3 men coming out wide right. That includes Fawcett in the slot. Under center goes Clark. And instead handed off to Beeler, who's able to get to the 5.
They're going to call.
And that's the last timeout for the Cougars.
Do you think they go to the air here to conserve time, or do you think they put it on the ground one more?
I thought they were going to the air when number 1 came back out there.
I thought when Clark went out there, maybe that's the decoy. Maybe they're seeing the same thing we are. See, was that Beeler again?
Yeah.
I mean, what a choice to give it to. I just like the way he plays the game.
I think Taryn Green needs to get a little bit of love here, too, because when the passing quarterback comes back out there and he's not buying any of it, he's there with the stop and filling
you saw in
gaps.
the replay, we don't have the benefit of going back to it, but Taryn Green closed that gap on Beeler right there. We talked in the pregame, we talked about Ethan, we talked about Welcome, we talked about Brigg. Taryn Green is a huge part of what's going on with this Lobos squad. As I've seen so far, he would definitely be my first half MVP on defense, no question at all.
So 28 seconds. Do the Cougars have time to try to run it once more?
No, I don't. You're asking the wrong person.
Keegan Clark going to split wide to the right as Yeager goes back in as quarterback. Beeler's behind him.
It looks like the Lobos are lining up also to take away some kind of quick slant here.
Fawcett lined up in the slot as Yeager is going to move the pocket to the near sideline, throw it into the end zone where it's going to be broken up by Turley.
Well, it definitely wasn't quick and it definitely wasn't a slant, but he kind of tried to thread the needle with that ball there, and it did not come up where I thought it would have.
Fawcett thought he had the space, and Turley was able to get in there and both break it up and knock him down just in case he didn't get a hand on the football.
That's defended by number 28, Greg Turley.
Wow. Not quite double coverage, but almost.
So it makes it 3rd down and goal with 23 seconds to play in the half. 7-3 Show Low leading, but wanting more. Clark, the lone man on the near side, as Beeler is in the backfield with Yeager under center. Handoff goes Fawcett coming from the left to the right, but brought down in the backfield. And now they got to try to hurry to the line as the clock's running at 20 seconds to play.
It's 4th down here. Derek, we've been playing a lot of speculation tonight. What do you see happening here?
13 seconds with the clock running. Show Low going to go for it here 4th and goal from the 8. 6 seconds as they've got everybody lined up. 5 seconds as there's the snap, and it's a broken play. Yeager trying to get something going, but he's brought down instead by Turley in the backfield, and there's no points to be had for the Cougars.
Missed opportunity right there, but again, that also makes up for the missed opportunity the Lobos had twice now in the red zone. We're going to the second half of a very tight ball game. But again, Derek, safe we say, I think I saw this movie a few weeks ago against Blue Ridge. Show Low up at half. Blue Ridge scored 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter. If I'm Show Low, I don't want to see the sequel to that movie.
7-3, they're leading right now at the break. We'll tell you about it after this. It's Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job and you can go so many different directions within it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NPC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
Three here at halftime, as it's been quite an eventful first half. The Cougars are able to get on the board first when Keegan Clark runs 67 yards, surprising just about everybody by entering the game as a receiver and getting it on a double reverse. But he's able to get the seam and just go straight up the right hash mark and all the way into the end zone to provide the Cougars with their points. He's also been responsible for lion's share of their yardage as he's out there with 114 total yards in his first game back since suffering a gruesome face injury. The Lobos, on the other hand, have 2 empty possessions that ended in the red zone. But Hewish, is this something that they go into the second half feeling a little bit more confident since they've been able to get the ball into those positions without having to rely upon turnovers, as have the Cougars?
You have to build on the little victories in the first half. Otherwise, what are you going in there saying, hey, we made it, but we didn't make it all. You got to look at the positives. You got to say, hey, we're going to build off this. We're going to get in the red zone. Let's play our game. Let's do our things. Let's make this work and just finish. finish these drives. It's a 7-3 ball game, and we're talking like they're down 14. It's a close ball game.
Well, I think the reason that we're talking like that is because of what the Lobos have done to themselves. They fumbled it away on 1st and goal at the 6. They got a huge stop after that one and fumbled a punt, which nearly resulted in more points for the Cougars. But how have those turnovers really changed the complexion of this ball game entirely?
Well, they haven't in the way that Sholo hasn't used them to capitalize. The stop on the first drive when Clark scored is really the difference in the ball game. They haven't been Sholo. The Cougars have not been able to capitalize off the Lobos' mistakes like you would want to in these particular situations. If Sholo scores at the end of the half and it's 14-3, I think we look at it a little more favorably because of the punt and the punt situation.
The other big story out of this one here in the first half is how well the Lions have defended for both sides, as you got 2 big runners for the Lobos in Brake Turley and Taryn Green, who only run for 19 and 33 yards respectively. The whole posse of rushers outside of Keegan Clark for the Cougars. You have Trent Beeler, who has been able to go for 12 yards on 4 carries. But Cal Fawcett has only been able to get 7 yards on 4 carries. Nick White, 8 yards on 3 carries, and much of that is just because especially the interior linemen for the Lobos have just been disrupting.
The interior line of the Lobos has been fantastic. It's allowed Taryn Green to come up and make those stops. You know, we talk about Taryn and Brigg maybe not being as much of a factor on offense. Let's talk about both of them on defense. That stop down there at the last play of the second quarter going into the half was all on Brigg Turley. 2 plays before that, I believe it was Taryn Green making the huge stop. So even though they're not producing on offense, they're a huge part of the game on defense. Just because you don't get your name called as much, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. No, they're playing up huge and doing everything that they can, especially Turley. I think one of us mentioned during the break that he looks like he has come out with all sorts of spirit and fight. The senior is really trying to end his career on a high note.
You know, Derek, this will be Briggs' last time playing Sholo, barring anything that could happen in the playoffs. And with the power rings, you never know. I actually had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Briggs today and talk about this game and talk about their week of preparation. And he was very confident about the week of preparation that they had. And I see the maturity, the leadership coming through in the second half. I look for a big second half for both him and Green on offense as well as defense.
We'll continue our conversation after this. Halftime at Sholo High School, 7-3. The Cougars are leading. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free
Just call
dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job and you can go so many different directions with it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NPC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
And are going to get the kick after the Lobos won the toss and elected to receive. It's Derek Palmer and Aaron Hewish here on a chilly night. Google says the temperature has dropped to 44. Burr. We got some juicy scoreboard graphics here for you as we take a look at what's going on around the region. Is Blue Ridge and Holbrook. We don't have a score for them, but I would wager that the Yellow Jackets, now number 5 in the most recent power rankings, are meeting success, let's put it that way. Payson in a big one with Winslow, as both of those teams are 7-1, and the Longhorns really need some help as they are just 16 in the most recent power rankings, and it is the Longhorns leading the Bulldogs 14-7 at the half. That game is in Winslow. Well, where'd they go?
You know, one of the things
they're back.
I noticed that Benson up on St. John's 14-7. I was a little worried about this one for the Redskins going into this week, having a huge letdown off that big win at Thatcher. And at the same time, I looked for Round Valley, seeing that score that St. John's put on Thatcher last week, and going down there and saying, hey, we got this.
Well, for our listening audience, that's Benson leading St. John's 14-7 at the half.
Oh, our listening audience. I didn't even know people tuned in anymore.
Both of those teams coming in at 6-2, and then a little bit of a surprise is Round Valley all over St. John's, 27-0. That one is also in the half. So it's actually St. John's leading Benson 14-7.
So take back everything I said, Derek.
St. John's is leading Benson 14-7 according to Max Preps. So we are happy to report those to you, and we'll keep them coming as we get them back in. As the Cougars are right now leading the Lobos 7-3, we take a look at the stats, beginning with the Cougars, who have that 4-point edge. Colton Yeager's been getting most of the snaps under center as he's gone 2 for 10 for 32 yards, but it ought to be said that he's had 1 touchdown dropped in the back of the end zone and then 2 first downs potentially dropped on the most recent drive prior to the fumble, I should say. So those 2 for 10 numbers could be a lot better. The 32 yards that he's had could be a lot better, and he's demonstrated some continued tough play as he, on his most recent completion, was able to take a hit while delivering to Beeler, who was able to pick up 20 yards on that catch. Otherwise, the only other player to receive a catch from Yeager was Keegan Clark, who went for 10 yards in his only reception. Speaking of Clark, he's carried the ball 4 times for 104 yards. That includes the only touchdown, as that one came on a 67-yard scamper. He also had one for 37 yards, but he was brought down from behind by Welcome Chapman. It ought to be noted, though, that since that tackle from Chapman, Clark has not looked quite as sturdy as he's coming off of, again, that gruesome face injury. 4 carries apiece for Beeler and Fawcett. Trenton Beeler out there with 12 yards. Fawcett has 7. And then Yeager has carried the ball twice for -2 yards. Nick White 3 times for 8 yards. Most of the offense thus far has been produced by Keegan Clark, and we'll have to see how much juice he has, though he is benefiting from a 20-minute timeout at halftime.
And also they seem to be utilizing him here and there with the quarterback spot.
Getting him a little bit of
Yep, she took my math class and
a little bit of
because she has 5'6".
there's a roasting happening here for the the raffle. Good heavens. No, we're still here, and we're looking at the Snowflake numbers. As Ramage is 8 for 12 for 99 yards. He's been getting an awful lot of work by going to two receivers in particular. Nick McVicker, who has 4 catches for 65 yards, and Cantrell has 3 catches for 33 yards. The only other player to catch one has been Brig Turley, who has 1 reception and 1 yard. Taryn Green leads the way for Snowflake's ball carriers as he has 33 yards on 8 carries, 19 yards on 8 carries for Brig Turley, as that highlights the great job the Sholo front has been doing in slowing these guys down. Ethan Ramage has carried it twice for 15 yards.
I don't think a lot of those yards, Derek, have come up the middle. They've come up off tackle and on sweeps, types, and tosses.
So they're at halftime, and there's not been an awful lot of yardage to talk about. But the Cougars benefiting from the big 67-yard run, is that right now has Keegan Clark as our likely player of the game if this is able to hold. But they're going to have to see what he has coming up still in the tank, as there's going to be a big 2 quarters remaining with the Lobos trying to make up a 4-point difference and find some way to get over this turnover bug. 7-3, Sholo leads at the break. We'll start the second half for you after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers, and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
Have Coach Maxwell ready with Ron Everingham, our senior field correspondent.
Coach Maxwell, a really tight first half. What'd you tell the boys at half? And how big was that stop there for Snowflake at the end of the second quarter?
Honestly, we should be up 21-3. I mean, we dropped the pass in the end zone, and we didn't score right there at the end. A little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Our boys are playing super hard. Honestly, we just need to keep going, doing what we're doing. We're doing fine. Our defense have come up with some big stops. They're playing great. And, offenses move the ball, super consistently. We just haven't finished as much as we should. And so, we'll just, come out here. We got the ball this drive right now. We just see if we can move down and put some points up and go from there.
Just a little bit how you're using your quarterbacks. Keegan Clark sits out for 6 weeks and back. What's the plan going in the second half?
We're just going to see. We're probably going to have to spot use Keegan. He's not in very good shape. You know what I mean? He's a dynamic kid, as you saw in that first play. And he gives us a different aspect. But obviously, he hasn't been playing football or doing much of anything. So his conditioning's not super great yet. So we'll probably do something similar, like we had in the first half. Just use him when we can, when he has the gas to go, and if not, we use Colton. Colton's doing a great job, So,
okay.
Kind of the plan.
All right. Good luck second half, Coach. Back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ron and Coach Maxwell. As there, he said it. You've been alluding to it, and there it's revealed in all the light of day. Just not a lot of stamina, but man, when they can get him in a little bit of space, he's been able to work it. Has Keegan Clark?
6 weeks is what he said. Is that my? I'm doing trying to do the math in my head. What could he have done 6 weeks to prepare to come back from this? He probably did everything he could, and they're seeing the fruits of that and see what his leadership will bring to this team as we move forward.
How big is this first defensive series for the Lobos? They, again, won the toss, elected to receive, and got stopped at midfield, and then promptly gave up a 67-yard run. They've been able to do just enough defensively to make sure it doesn't get away, but you just heard Coach Maxwell say that the Lobos have been playing with fire.
One thing that Coach Maxwell said is we're going to keep doing what we're doing, and I think that's a great thing. I think they're playing hard. The difference is, do the Lobos come out and adjust to something different the second half, something they didn't see, something they have the advantage of seeing now? Are they going to be able to make those adjustments and be able to shut them down in this first drive? I think we're going to see a very similar type of play out of the Lobos, but I think we might see a little bit of a tweaked scheme, and I look for a 3-and-out here on this first drive by the Lobos, as speculative as we've been all game.
Coach Maxwell says he thinks his team should be up 21-3, but can't you make an argument on the other side of it that the biggest adjustment that Snowflake needs to make is just hang on to the ball?
21-14 would be a good, which is kind of, it's not what we have now, but when you look at it, 7-3, it's about where it should be. The football gods have equalized the game to a 7-3 from where the teams are doing that.
So the Lobos are going to kick it away as Colton Yeager is on.
I did catch up with
the Sholo sideline, getting loose, and he's the only one.
Sorry.
Oh, why don't we just send it down to senior field correspondent Ron Everingham, as he's got one more update for us.
Yeah, I also had a chance to catch up with Snowflake head coach, and he just mentioned he was really disappointed in the amount of turnovers that they had. That's pretty obvious, but he says he expects it to be a little different here. They just need to come out and play hard second half.
All right, thanks, Ron. Lobos already out on the field again. Yeager
Cougars are already out on the field.
Beg your pardon, the Cougars are out there. Yeager's the only one getting loose on the sideline. So Clark, who has yet to attempt a pass, but used a little bit as a decoy, he's also standing over there with Yeager, having a little bit of a quarterbacking powwow, as now the Lobos have joined him. And here comes the ready to kick it away is Crockett. And Beeler and Aguilar are back to receive. As this one kicked a little bit short, this Northland Pioneer. Oh, no, it's not. It's all the way back to the goal line. It's going to be taken by Aguilar as he runs into trouble, as he runs into a bunch of humanity right around the 10-yard line. Maybe should have let that thing go into the end zone, but I think much like myself, he was surprised that one went all the way out there.
Great job by Sam Crockett on getting that down to the goal line. Again, Derek, I look for something big here. With that field position, if the Lobos can't get that 3-and-out, they'll pick up their offense where it was left off after that first drive and hopefully put it in the end zone and go from there.
That Northland Pioneer College kickoff. When it comes time to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. So
it'll be interesting to see, too, what these the boys up front for the Cougars rested after that 20 minutes, how they respond.
I don't see Clark out there as Yeager goes under center. Fawcett's in motion. He gets the call coming from the right to the left and gets tripped up as he makes it to the 12, but just a gain of 2.
Okay, by number 24, Cal Fawcett for the Cougars.
Second down. Oh, they're going to move him all the way out to the 13. But still having a hard time getting a lot going with the running game as Aguilar comes off the floor. And Yeager continuing to operate as the quarterback. bunch it up really close to the line with a man split wide left. But Cantor in the slot on the right side. Now coming in motion and instead going to give way to Beeler as he's able to rattle off a couple of tacklers and get it all the way out to the 25 and have enough for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
I was a little skeptical after that first play when they ran that very similar. That time it was between the guard and were able to get the necessary yards they needed. Credit the Lobos secondary for coming up with a pretty big stop, though.
That doubles Beeler's rushing total to 24 as he takes it out to the 24. 7-3. Sholo leading, and here starting the second half with this possession. Beeler again, the lone man back as they're going to fake the give to him. Roll Yeager out to the left as he is looking to wind up, and instead going to have to tuck it. And there he's brought down as Payson Cardin's going to get him down for a big loss. All the way back. I think that's all the way back to the 16 and a loss of 8.
You see Payson Cardin is almost in a double team there. Fights off the double team, takes a great angle on Yeager, and great stop.
Oof, he's fortunate that he was able to keep that paw on the football, as that makes it now second down and 18. Two receivers coming out wide to the near side as Beeler's the single back. No, that's Nick White who gets the call as he is brought down at the 20, but just about 3 yards on that gain after Turley brings him down.
Number 25, Coy Schwartz in there on the stop. Looked like he had help a little bit.
Nick White, the big runner.
Taryn Green.
As Green
Taryn
and
Green
Schwartz
came in
are
and
both over there. Now this is a big play for the Lobos. Third down and a lot, and a timeout is taken. I couldn't see from which side.
Lobos. Snowflake took the timeout.
Snowflake taking a timeout on defense 2 minutes into the half. 7-3 they trail. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
I got this. Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
Impact may have in the latter parts of the ball game as the Lobos have to take a timeout after just 2 minutes and 18 seconds facing 3rd and 20. I don't know if they needed to do something with the personnel as everybody's still really close to the line for the Cougars. And the handoff goes, no, they fake it to Cantor, keeping it as Yeager throwing this one all the way out to Fawcett, who's got it, caught it to 35.
He stopped the clock. We're got a first down.
So they call timeout on 3rd and 20.
Derek, do we want to
give up a 22-yard catch?
Do we dare attack the elephant in the room here? You have 3rd and a lot, and you call a timeout, and you come out and you can't cover it?
That hurts. That's Fawcett's first catch, and again, a sophomore quarterback buying time and rolling out and picking up a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. Now as Beeler goes up the middle.
I don't think Beeler dove for. We're going to call that a gain of 3, Derek.
It's a big dude.
One of the Lobos limping around there. That might be. It is Green. That's number 30, Taryn Green. That's not a good sign, even though he's probably able to walk that off. As this cold weather sets in, it could be a little bit of a factor.
2nd down and 7 after the generous spot as Nick White now in the backfield. Receivers on either side, though Cantor's in the slot, starting to come in motion to the left as this might have been fumbled.
I think that was on the ground.
And Snowflake has taken it back. Oh, my goodness heavens.
And it looks like the Lobos recover.
I think that was just a miscommunication on the option.
Well, we're looking at the replay. It's cold now, probably closer to 40 degrees. And it looks as if Yeager never really was able to cleanly give that to anybody.
Nope.
Taking another look. Oh, he might have bumped into somebody. I think he might have bumped into one of his blockers.
Bumped in and hit a foot and rolled right into the hands of the Lobos.
I think it was Jack Baird who might have put an elbow on it. So here's a golden opportunity for Snowflake after its first takeaway. Handed off to Turley, who tries to go from the left to the right, but runs into two tacklers. And it's
still a gain of 3. Still a gain of 3. Good fight for a gain of 3. That forward progress puts him down the field. Derek, is this the best starting field position the Lobos have had tonight?
Yeah, by a lot and half, as they got it already in Sholo territory at the 40, but are facing now a 2nd down and 8. And needing now to do something after having 2 empty trips into the red zone, remember, and a couple of costly turnovers. Well, I say empty. They didn't get a touchdown out of one of them. As here the pitch goes to Turley, trying to move to the right side, running around Green as he's able to nearly get the corner. But again, a nice job by one of the Cougars in pursuit. Let's give that tackle to Aguilar.
That's going to bring a 3rd and short and 4 down territory. I don't see the Lobos stop anything what they're doing here with these big backs.
3rd down and 1.
Look at Taryn Green get that lead block there on the replay. Fantastic job by him.
Going to send Ramage under center. Split backs behind him as they fake the handoff. Want to pass this one out into traffic and nearly picked off, but Fawcett couldn't get underneath it entirely.
We're going to have a flag. Roughing the passer.
Oh, my. Well, there's the first 15-yard flag that we've seen today. So we're taking a look at the replay on the stream, and it looks like Jake Yeager, well, he drove him down. And I think that's what was being observed by Chuck Copeland.
I think that puts him in the red zone. Great opportunity here. Great opportunity off the play like that. Rather than 4th and short, we're now looking at
First and 10 from the 18. The Lobos trying to capitalize after the fumble. 2 receivers coming to the near side. As the handoff instead goes Turley, who's going to run through a big hole. Now cut back along the 5, coming to the left and into the end zone for the score. 18 yards on the carry, and the Lobos have taken the lead.
I think we'll see on the replay here, Briggs' eyes moving forward, making that cutback. Here he goes, sees, cutbacks right there.
Well, the vision, they're recognizing as 2 blockers that were moving from being split wide on the near sideline back to the center of the field. So excellent job by everybody involved.
Yeah, the blockers really didn't have to do much other than get their hands up. Briggs able to read his men and take that into the end zone.
Out to kick it is Crockett, with his team leading now 9-7. And this is a big deal because the Cougars have not had a lot of faith in the kicking game. It was a low snap, but they're able to get it down, and it's up and good. 10-7, Snowflake leading and taking advantage of the Cougar turnover. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Here at Sholo High School, where the Cougars now are trailing for the first time.
Madison Ward, if you are in the area, please go to the announcer's booth at this time.
Got Aguilar and Beeler back to receive the kick. And the Cougars looking for an answer. Crockett's going to kick it away. Didn't see any Keegan Clark on that first series. As this is a low kick and will be bouncing around. Aguilar gets by him and into the end zone. And he's going to pick it up. No, it doesn't get into the end zone. He's going to be brought down inside the 5. Welcome Chapman there after that does not break the plane. Taking a look at the replay.
That might be the momentum shift in the game right there.
He had to pick it up, and it died at the 1. There's a conversation being had. Our microphone just picked up that there might have been an inadvertent whistle. We see it get by him at the 10, and the ball stops bouncing right at the 1. He had to go. There was no guarantee that it was going to make it into the end zone. He had to go. So they're going to take over with the ball on the 1. And now let's see how the sophomore quarterback Colton Yeager can respond in the shadows of his own end zone. Keegan Clark is not out there, as this is going to be up to Beeler and Fawcett, you'd think, to try to get some space. Now,
well, it's dangerous here, too, because any kind of myriad of penalties can be attributed to. I don't understand what's going on here.
One of the Snowflake coaches needed an explanation. Coach Solomon wanted to know something. Everything seems like it's coming up Lobo right now. All right, handed off, trying just to get some space with Beeler going up the middle, and the Lobos want to say that they had stopped him in the end zone, but it's instead, well, where are you guys going? It's
forward progress.
It's down at the 1. But that was an enthusiastic celebration, I tell you.
Forward progress to the
very clearly out of the end zone.
Number 44, Trent Beeler, gains a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Cougars.
So 2nd down and 10 still. Well, they're going to say even gained a yard. The Lobos had their dancing shoes on. Just with one man deep. Everybody else crowded around the line of scrimmages. Again go with Beeler, and again he is going to have very little room to run, but this time it's well understood that he got out of the end zone.
And another yard. I think we're going to see the same thing here. Would you agree, Derek?
Wow, they gave
him another yard.
So I think right now the Cougars are just trying to get some space and punt this away and hope for something a little bit more fortuitous on the ensuing possession. They're facing 3rd down and 7 from their own 4. Well, they got it on the 3.
I'd say the 3.
And a timeout is being taken again.
I think this is
by the Cougars.
I think this is a smart timeout. Smart timeout. Let's talk about it. Let's regroup. Let's not get a safety here.
Stops play with 5:31 to go in the 3rd quarter. It is the Lobos leading 10-7 in Shoulder Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Side of the football in the second half. They could sure use a burst of his athleticism here, as the kickoff after the Lobos were able to put it in the end zone following the first Sholo turnover was nearly down at the 1. It was nearly an onside kick. It was a free ball. It was a live ball. And now facing 3rd and 7 from the 3. They're going to go back into the end zone with the shotgun and just kick it away. I think this is a great move, as this one bounces at the 40, 45, still rolling all the way out, and really turns the field position around, because there wasn't a lot of hope to try to do anything there. I like that from Coach Maxwell.
I like the punt. The problem is they're going to give the field position in their own territory, and I think it's just going to be a matter of the Lobos giving the ball to those 2 backs that we talked about in the pregame and putting it in here.
But here, I mean, you're going to communicate on 4th down that we have no chance to do anything but kick, so they're going to catch Snowflake unawares. I grew up on Dick Tomey football, as you know, so this is something that, may he rest in peace, Coach Tomey would have done. And it's going to give your defense now a chance to make a play and try to get it back. So here come the Lobos.
That gives them a chance. The momentum shift, yes. It puts a little damper on the momentum.
Clark back out here and playing quarterback, as they're going to give it to Turley. He's going to run right at him after coming through the line and all the way down to the 30-yard line and a pickup of 18.
Number 28, Greg Turley, brought down by number 1, Keegan.
Well, that play, kicking it on 3rd down works when your defense gives you that stop, but there was not one coming.
I think the adjustments have been made up front with the blocking assignments and getting through. You know, if I'm Sholo right now, if I can make the stop here, no matter what, I'm looking to definitely try to shorten this game with my with my offense.
10-7, Snowflake leading, 5 minutes to play in the third. I formation behind Ramage. He's going to pitch it out to Turley. He just had 18 yards on that carry. He's going to cut it upfield out going to the right side, and is very close to another Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Okay, once again by number 28, Greg Turley.
Gain of 9. He now has 74 yards on 13 carries.
9 on that play. 2nd and 1 for the Lobos.
You talked about Taryn Green as a lead blocker, and he's really making money here by setting up some big holes. There, the Lobos, though, just sent in 3 blockers at Beeler.
When you think glass, think
well, and
Beamer's
Brigg made the cut, and it wasn't even a factor. Brigg was able to read that cut and take it up the field.
2nd and 1 from the 23-yard line. The Cougars back on their heels as this one goes green, and he's close to a first down, but it's all going to depend upon the spot. That one was sealed up. I think Avila was there disrupting.
I'm not positive that ball wasn't put on the ground, whether it be before or after. Go to a replay and see here.
Once again by number 28, Turley.
Well, there's third down regardless.
The ball was fumbled.
Who recovered?
Lobos recovered.
Okay. So that explains why it's still 3rd and 1.
I see these big Sholo offensive or defensive linemen, up front with the hands on the hips. That's not a good sign, winding down this third quarter here.
Well, they have been playing so shorthanded for quite a few weeks now.
Credit them. They're in this ball game.
I formation again for the Lobos. Tight ends on either side as they fake the handoff. Ramage wants to throw. Double pump now as he goes toward the corner of the end zone, and Flake can't hold on. Great stop there by Fawcett to get in there and break it up.
Number 8, Ramage, incomplete. Intended for number 1 for the Lobos.
He had an opening, but you got Turley who's been gashing. And I think that Ramage might have just held on to this one a little bit too long. Going for it on 4th and 1. Well, 4th and about a foot. I formation again. Turley's deep. As this time they're going to go with Green, and he'll push the pile out for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down, crossing over the 20.
Ball carried once again by number 28, Turley for the Lobos. It looks like he is just enough for a Lobo first down.
So they move it into the red zone, but this has not been a gimme, as they had 2 trips that were nearly fruitless, wound up settling for a field goal and one fumbled on another, the most recently 18 yards run by Turley.
Are they officially in the red zone here, Derek?
Yeah, they got it marked, well, just over the 20. Going with the I formation still. Receivers on either side. As the handoff goes, Turley, and he's stopped. As now it looks as if the Cougars have made an adjustment.
Little more of the Sholo up front we saw in the first half. If I'm the Lobos, I'm running it till they stop it, and they stopped it there. We'll see what adjustment they make. They do have a lot of weapons to go to.
Taking a look at the replay, now you're looking at 2 interior linemen for the Cougars right over the center.
That almost looked like Yeager came down from his defensive end position and was able to make that tackle.
2nd and 10.
Isaac Gallion for the Lobos.
As Ramage under center, fake the handoff with time now as he comes to the near side, catching that one outside where it's had by Brimhall, spinning away from a tackler and getting down at the 1, brought down just in front of the goal line by Fawcett.
That's from Ramage, complete number 84, Red Brimhall.
First catch for Brimhall today.
First and goal, Snowflake.
And it's 1st and goal on the 1. Brimhall too strong. I couldn't see who was initially there trying to bring him down, but it might have been Clark. Big package again as they're going to go with the sneak. Ramage looks like he's over the goal line, but there's been no signal, and now it's in. Touchdown, Snowflake.
And that is a touchdown for the Snowflake Lobos.
Ramage with the keeper scores that to make it 16-7.
Importantly, it makes it a 2-score game.
Also got to take a look over at the Sholo offense, which has not been able to muster much here in the second half.
No.
As in to kick it up is Crockett. He's been perfect thus far. As this one's down and up. And good. 17-7. Snowflake now leading with 1 minute and 42 seconds left in the third quarter. This is Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Show Low and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
Third quarter now leading 17-7, but Hewish, this one all started when Crockett kicked that one, got by Aguilar, and it looked like it was maybe, I'll say, a 20% chance that it was going to somehow get over the plane, but that was not a sure thing, and Aguilar wound up having to try to run that back and get stopped at the one. Fawcett is going to now be returning in Aguilar's spot. Crockett on the approach, this time kicks it short, and it'll be taken by Yeager. Now he can do something as he comes from the left to the right, and it'll be stopped at the 40. A nice job there in the open field by one of the Lobos. That was Austin Belisle.
You know, Derek, it's interesting. If I'm Sholo, I'm starting to see that Blue Ridge game sit in the back of my head.
Yeager is coming out to operate as the signal caller. I don't see Clark on the sideline, but neither is he not out there. So he's continuing to just make himself serviceable on the defensive side as Beeler is the single back, but instead going to go to Fawcett coming from right to the left. He's got a seam. He's in the open field, nearly in the open field, I should say, as he is brought down by Ballard.
Jacob Ballard, great job there by Ballard in the secondary, reading that. Interesting cut by Beeler. I thought he had more of an outside, but he saw something that obviously way better angle that he has down on the field, made that ball cut and was able to get through up there.
That's the first time that the Cougars have been able to get some space coming out of the slot there on that reverse. And a great job there by Ballard, just by the shirt tails. He's able to bring him down, before he picks up the Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down into Snowflake territory and down to the 42. Let's see how this inspires the Cougar attack as they trail 10. Now Foss coming in motion from the other side, but instead the handoff goes Beeler. He picks up a couple by getting over to the 40.
I think that was Brick Turley and Coy Schwartz in there.
Gain of 3 on the play, second down.
They're going to give him a 3-yard gain. Down to the 39. Clock running under a minute to play. As right now the Cougars need points.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lake.
I think the Cougars need more than points. They need some positive momentum to get some points off of.
Beeler the single back, men in either slot coming in motion to the near side as Fawcett. Fake the handoff to Beeler, is now dropping back with some spaces. It's a little underthrown. Ballard is there in defense. Yeager was the intended man.
Intended for number 83, Jacob Yeager.
It almost looked like Yeager had to come back to the ball. Let's take the replay here. Great job by Ballard, though, coming over from his, I think he might be in the safety spot, making that play. Great job. Looked like that Yeager did have to come back on that one.
I think Belisle was there in the backfield, not necessarily pressuring, but he had his hands up, and I think that did something to kind of frustrate Yeager's vision.
Absolutely.
So that makes it now 3rd down and 7. Fawcett again coming in motion. They fake the give, trying to roll to the left. Under pressure, out into the flat, but incomplete.
That might be a roughing the passer.
And there's a roughing the passer flag.
Flag on the play.
It's kind of a
personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Snowflake.
I think that was green.
I think it was, let's look. I think it might have been Schwartz or Daly. I'm not positive.
Follows a personal foul, roughing the passer. That will move the
Daly.
chains. 1st and 10, Keegan.
That was bang, bang. It's a lot like the one that had been whistled against Sholo that gave the Lobos a 1st down when Yeager seemed like he just brought his weight down onto Ramage. So two of them there, one for each side that have just been bang, bang. But it moves it out for Mountain Mobile Auto Glass 1st down, 1st and 10 from inside the 25. Handoff Beeler as he's trying. No, that's Fawcett trying to cut back, and he nearly rolled up one of his linemen, Jacob Webb.
Bring us to the end of the half here. If I'm Sholo, I'm actually considering that. Take their momentum and move into the 4th quarter.
They don't have to get a play off. And Clark coming back out onto the sideline, but he'll have to wait until the fourth quarter to try to do something, as his team has allowed 2 touchdowns here in the third and is trailing 17-7. The Lobos in front with 12 minutes to play. It's Show Low Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Show Low Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Show Low Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Show Low Ford has the best deal. Show Low Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at showlowford.com.
As there's a big crowd on both sides braving the elements. The Lobos have scored twice and lead 17-7 now, benefiting from a short field on both of their opportunities. But now the Cougars look like they're answering on third down. A roughing the passer flag extended the drive. They've taken it now to the 21 and are facing a 2nd and 7 and need some points. They're starting to run a little bit shy of time.
More than a little bit shy. They're due for a score last quarter. Ooh, broken play, possibly.
Yeager trying to find something still as he's able to drop it off and find Beeler, but it's just going to be for a couple yards.
Derek, I want to look at the replay here, and I want to see, it looked like there might have been some broken down responsibility on it, and Yeager wasn't able to see clearly, and he was able to push it to that check down route.
3rd down and 6, but this is almost surely down territory.
4 down territory for sure.
Clark is off onto the sideline as Wolford is going to come split wide to the left. Another receiver joins him. That's Cantor. Fawcett is in the slot, starting to move to the right side. Fake the give, moving to the left. Yeager with time, drops it off, had by Cantor. Can't get away from Chapman. Well, eventually he does, but Chapman holds on to him long enough to allow a couple of others to come. But this is going to be enough for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
We're blocked a little bit here, but it looked like Chapman came in looking straight to go after that ball and almost caused a fumble. That was a great job by him right there. Let's watch the replay. Chapman comes in right here, and no, it was Payson Carden going for the ball there. Great job.
Less than 11 minutes to play, 17-7, Snowflake leading. The ball is at the 14 of the Lobos. You got Cantor and Lusk going out wide to the right. Again, Fawcett coming in motion, gets the call, has some blockers as he's moving to the left. Spin around at the 10, gets stopped at the 5, and a great open field stop by Chapman.
I think that's a gain of almost 7 there, Derek, which puts them in. Are they down to the? I'm having a rough time seeing across the field through our tent here. They're on the 10 down there.
2nd down and 3. They're right around the 5.
Yeah, they're spotting it on the 7. Yes.
Same formation as Cantor and Wolford go out wide right. Fawcett, though, in the slot on the right side with Beeler, the single back. Fawcett coming in motion. This time, go Beeler. Goes right up the middle, and he's going to be with enough yardage for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down. Stop shy of the goal line, though.
But they bring up, but Derek, again, this is, I know the momentum's kind of moving a little bit, but it's almost feeling like it's a little bit too late. We'll see what happens here. Both teams have struggled in the red zone at some points tonight. Sholo desperately needs to figure out a way to put this one in the end zone.
Again, it's cold. This is the first weekend we've had up here where it's legit cold, so they're going to have to hang on to the ball as well as Yeager goes under center. Again, Fawcett coming in motion. They're going to give him the call, cuts it up and into the end zone for the score. Touchdown, Sholo. 4 yards out.
Derek, I do want to say something that I was over at Blue Ridge, and I believe it was this cold over there, sir.
Oh, right. We didn't get a call that one that week, yes.
It was some extremely cold weather, but
we
that's
were
why
denied.
I say it's a little bit different for Sholo right now as they were able to get it in the second half. So these boys have played in it a little bit. I'm sure they've practiced into the nights this week to get ready for this.
Well, the Lobos have a big one looming next week with Winslow. We'll have that called for you. As the kick is up and away and good with McCrill.
Derek, interesting there because I'm actually seeing that Sholo has a little bit of a kicking game. And not to be a mathematician, but field goals are worth 3 and they're down 3.
Yep.
We might be able to see something later in the game. I mean,
that makes it 17-14 with 9:41 to go. Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there, waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so he can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there, and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
The Lobos have been able to get it into the end zone twice here in the second half. The Cougars, but once. But it's a field goal ball game, and it's going to be up now to the Sholo defenders to get a stop. That's something they've been able to do here in the second half. Is back to receive is Turley and Chapman,
wow.
but this one goes
that is gonna be
off the inside of McCrill's
position.
foot and out of bounds.
That is going to be, I don't know if that was the cold or what, but that's going to lead to some, because I believe it's 5 yards from there, correct?
It looks that way.
It's the 35, so I think if it's this side of the 35, so that's a great opportunity for the Lobos right here.
Keegan Clark is not out there for the Cougars, as his team's trailing 17-14. It has been the Brig Turley show for the Lobos, as he now with his rushing totals up to 74 yards on 14
I look to see
carries.
more of that right here. You got Brig and Green right there in the backfield alongside Ramage.
Bringing some pressure. You're going to go with the misdirection as it's going to come around and into somebody's hands. Out caught at the 50 and all the way over to the 45. Who is that?
Might be.
We got Caleb Lyman with a big gain all the way out to the Sholo 45. That's the first time we've called his name. And he's good for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Great job of hanging on to the ball there at the end of the play, too. As we see on the replay, Sholo was going for it. More importantly, in Cougar territory.
That costly error on the kickoff now looming large out to the Sholo 44, 1st and 10, leading 17-14. Again, having to run away from a player in the backfield, but Turley is nearly with another first down as he's good for 8.
They're just chunking yards on him right now. It's almost going to be too much to overcome if they can keep this up.
Less than 9 minutes to play. 17-14. As Turley, one of the few players out there without sleeves. Is that just a macho thing, or what? Is he seriously not showing?
I would encourage running backs not to wear sleeves because of the slick, tight gear that they wear is definitely slick on the ball. I think it's a good thing not to have it.
Offset eye behind Ramage as they again go Turley, but he's tripped up in the backfield there with the stop is Cooper.
I think the compression stuff that the teams wear nowadays just is not good for those for on the ball in this cold weather. It just comes off easily.
So that stop by Irvin is huge as it makes it 3rd and 1 from the Sholo 35. Cougars trying to get the ball back after a huge play on 1st and 10. Put it into Cougar territory, but now facing the I formation, handed off to Green as he's got the first down. He's still on his feet. He's over the 30, out to the 25, down to the 20 as he's taking a man for a ride. Fawcett eventually brings him down, but not before 17 yards a gain.
Snowflake first down.
Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down into the red zone. And you see Green, the up man, running away from one guy at the line and then just getting into the open field. Credit the offensive lineman there for opening the path. And then credit Green as Fawcett had 2 hands on the football as he took him down. pitch it out to the far side where Turley is accelerating around the corner, and he has a big gain on first and 10. He's still on his feet as he goes now beyond the yard marker inside the 10 and has another Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Turley upended by number 21, Kevin Whitlow on the play.
95 yards now for Brig Turley.
First and goal, Snowflake.
And it's first and goal with the ball spotted at the 7. 7 minutes and 10 seconds left. I formation behind Ramage as he gives this to Turley. Again going over the left side of the line and again taking tacklers just shy of the goal line. Gains 6.
Once again by number 28, Brig Turley.
Here's the deal. Do you let the clock run all the way down and tick to 5 on and take the time away from the Cougars?
The Lobos have been going with urgency throughout, and they're already at the line of scrimmage, but I think right now they're just smelling blood. And wait a minute, a timeout will be taken by the Lobos. 6 minutes and 33 seconds left. 17-14, Snowflake leading. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
It's not to say that this is the critical moment of the ball game, but it's certainly pivotal because there's not a lot of time left. They got it 2nd and goal on the 1 to the Lobos. Again going with the I formation with Turley deep. He gets the call, steps around one tackler, and puts his head down to get over the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown, Snowflake. Second score for Brig Turley, as he's also over the century mark with his total rushing yards.
Let's give props to the O-line on that drive. They just, pushing him around down the field and kind of capped it off there. Senior number 60, Jordan Patton on the ground coming up to congratulate Brig. Great job by those men up front.
And to attempt the extra point is Samuel Crockett. His team leads 23-14. We've seen good leg from the Krill. So this is a big moment as the snap is down, the kick is away. And it's good.
Kick is up, and
6.5 minutes to play, and it's again a 10-point lead for the Lobos, 24-14. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
It's the third time that the Lobos have been able to get it into the end zone. This time off of a short field because of a kickoff out of bounds. This Northland Pioneer College kickoff reminds you that when it's time to kick off your college education, choose the college with the lowest tuition in Arizona. That's Northland Pioneer College. As Fawcett is going back to receive alongside Beeler. Crockett on the approach as he kicks this one short, and it's taken, by Whipple, who falls down at the 26. It has been an adventurous half as far as the kickoffs go for the Cougars. But now putting it back into Yeager's hands. Have not seen an awful lot of Keegan Clark on the offensive side. He's on the sideline right now. So Yeager's going to come out. Got a problem with the scoreboard as it had initially read 26 seconds. Now it's showing 5 minutes and 26 seconds. Still need another minute on that. It should be 6 minutes and 26 seconds as It's cold, but we do have to play all 48. All right, well, while they figure that out, I'm going to go ahead and give the Phoenix Suns a shout-out. They fall at Denver in overtime without DeAndre Ayton, 108-107. It's been a long time since the professional basketball franchise has been productive in the Grand Canyon State. And dare I say that they might have finally turned the corner?
You can't say that off a loss, but you can say that they're trying to turn the corner.
Well, I just dared to say it.
You can dare to say it.
I dared say, and it's out there. It's out there on the internet, so you know somebody's going to take it at face value. So we got it figured out. 6 minutes and 26 seconds now back on the clock. 24-14, Snowflake leads. As Yeager is under center. Beeler the single back. Fawcett in motion coming to the near side, instead handed off Beeler, who's met at the line of scrimmage, able to slip one tackler, but he gets stopped after a 1 yard gain.
Number 44, Trenton Beeler. Beeler brought down by number 24, Welcome Chapman.
Beeler with just 36 yards on 11 carries, as the interior of the Snowflake line has been stout.
They've done a great job, and it's going to be interesting to see Sholo here. They're needing the big play, and without Clark on the field, he is on the field actually. He comes out here wide. They need that big play threat.
They had him scoring from this position on a reverse. Instead, he runs out, being looked at by Yeager. They're going to throw it in this direction as he catches this one over the 40 at the 42 and has a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
And he stops the clock.
78 yards. 78 yards, beg your pardon. As there's the first time that Clark's been able to move the chains here in the second half, and it stops the clock as well with 5 minutes and 42 seconds to play. Still a 10-point ball game. As Wolford now splits out on the short side on the Sholo sideline. Handoff instead goes in this direction to Fawcett, who's going to be met at the line by Chapman, but still able to use his inertia to get over the 45 and pick up 3.
And there's Taryn Green right there. Doesn't look like he's lost a step all game. Right there to make
the... by number 24, Welcome Chapman, a little 24-on-24 violence.
Second down and 7, but the clock is moving.
Gain of 4 on the play, second down.
They need to get 10 points. So they got to start operating with urgency. As Yeager goes again under center, Fawcett again in motion. He gets a call again, looking for some blockers as he's at midfield and nearly busts that one, but Taryn Green's able to get just enough of them to get him shy of the yard marker to make it now 3rd and 1.
Taryn Green did a great job of reading that from his middle linebacker spot.
3rd and 1.
The sense of urgency for Sholo here is creeping up and up and up as they move into Lobo territory.
Beeler the single back, 2 receivers wide right. As the handoff goes, Beeler goes to the left, and he's over to the 47. And has enough for a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
Welcome Chapman in on the stop again for the Lobos.
But Beeler's carry is good for a Cougar first down.
But the clock continues to move now. 4.5 minutes to play. 24-14, Snowflake leads.
It's going to take a big, big play here.
Coming in motion, fake the give, rolling to the right with Yeager. Got Beeler in the flat, throws it a little bit behind him, but he's able to get his hands on that one as he's brought down by 2 Lobos, but he picks up 12 and has a Mountain Mobile Auto Glass first down.
The Sholo Cougars need to get a sense of urgency here on moving up to the line. They need to move up to the line and have a sense to get these plays in quick and be able to move themselves down the field.
They do have 2 timeouts. One,
I believe,
at least 2.
They show 2. They show 2. I don't think that's been fixed on the scoreboard yet.
So 2 men coming out wide left. Fake the handoff. A little bit of a broken play as Yeager is going to be brought down by the face mask, and there are the flags.
15-yarder. And
Carter Solomon, I think they could go either face. Yep.
That's a huge play because it moves them 15 and it gives them a first down.
When it comes on a broken play.
We're going to have a first.
Derek, I noticed Clark's back in on his sideline, split wide.
This moves it down to the Lobo 21. Less than 4 minutes to play. 24-14, Snowflake is in front. Clark split wide left. Beeler the single back. As the handoff goes, Beeler. He tries the left side, bounces it out at the 15. Nearly broke it at the 12, but he's very close to a Mount Mobile Autoglass first down. Josh Solomon there with the stop. 9 yards on that carry, 47 now on the day for Beeler as they're hurrying to the line. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left. As Wolford's the lone man on the far side. Instead they give it to Fawcett. He cuts it up and has the first down over to the 7. But time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence because they are going to start that clock as soon as they get that down marker set.
Clark going out now wide to the right side of the line. He's going to have single coverage as Yeager goes under center. Beeler is behind him. Fake the handoff, start rolling to the right, trying to set it up for Clark, but now he's run right into the cover. It's going to go over the middle where it's picked off and intercepted at the goal line. Taryn Green's got it as he goes to the far sideline, still on his feet, but brought down by Keegan. Clark, though, all the way out to the 30, and that might have done it.
I think it's safe to say, Derek, that that's the dagger right there.
Well, they've been trying to find a way to get Clark, and I think at that moment they really wanted to go to him, but
Steve throws the highs up in the lights. I couldn't find it.
That was not for us. But we got to send some credit to Shandon Hatch, who was out there on an island against Clark and just never gave him an opening. Got a man down for the Lobos. That's Green.
Taryn Green.
Might have fallen on the football. Taking a look at the replay, yeah, I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. I'd say just. So here come the Lobos just looking now to use clock. 3 minutes and 1 second, 24-14.
They play the time right. They only need to get one first down here.
Handoff Turley. He's been a big story of this second half as he tries to go to the left of the line, picks up a yard. He's now with 100. Well, let's give him 2 yards on that one. Sholo takes a timeout, trailing 24-14 with 2:55 to go. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
You've been there waiting forever at the gas station for the guy to free up so we can fill up your propane tank. Or worse, when the only qualified propane technician decided to stay home that day. Yep, you've been there and I have too. That's why now I get my propane from Ace Hardware every time. You get Ace Hardware's world-famous customer service when you stop in for propane. That's right, you get in, you get out, and you get a great deal on propane and everything else. From Ace Hardware at their locations in Pine Top and Heber. Ace Hardware is proud to support White Mountain Sports.
More. And I think that the Lobos are looking at this like just don't even necessarily need the first down. Of course, that would be beneficial, but the Cougars got to score twice.
I think the Lobos get a first down here, and we can call it good.
Little movement on the defensive front as it's fumbled.
Ramage got it. Ramage got it back.
Ramage.
Ramage got it back. Great job by Ethan.
Fumble to recover by number 8, Ethan Ramage.
So there's a loss of 3 on the play, makes it 3rd and 11, and it's cold. I've talked about it. It's cold. I don't know what that might have influenced.
I think it's quite a nice night, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, you're not trying to hang on to the skin. Ramage, I don't know if he just ever got both hands around that thing cleanly. And I'm going to say because it's cold.
Possibly.
Yeah.
You know, Derek, we've talked about it. Let's go over it again. Sholo, they played that first game against Round Valley. They were a very good football team. They had a lot of injuries, but yet they were able to hold a very good Payson team and compete with them last week, and they were able to come out and compete tonight. It's not the season they had hoped for, but they've done some great things tonight. Positive momentum going to that game next week at Holbrook, which unfortunately I don't think is going to help them, but it could end their season on a very positive note.
Timeout taken, I believe, by Snowflake. Stops the clock with 2 minutes and 9 seconds to go. 24-14, the Lobos lead. This is Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
9 seconds to play. 24-14. The Lobos have the lead and the football. Ramage this time using the shotgun. He's got running backs on either side, including Green, who's back out there after losing his breath, it seems. Pitch it out instead to Turley, who's going to try to make some men miss in the open field, but the Cougars were there.
Derek, I got an interesting update as I was flipping through the Twitter feed at our last break, and I have that Safford's up on Pushridge, 50-7.
Tackle made by number 30, Cooper Irvin for the Cougars.
As I flip through scores to see, I have some other ones, but I don't think they're from very reliable sources, and I don't want to say them right now.
50-7.
That's Safford over Pushridge, and that's according to the world of Twitter.
Minute and a half to play in this one. And the Lobos look like they want to use as much of the clock as possible, as they stop it now with a minute and 21 seconds left. So it's going to take at least one very big play. I haven't seen a lot of punting from the Lobos today. In fact, I can't remember who usually does it. Was
Crockett,
it Crockett?
Crockett had the one punt.
So one would expect him to come out after this timeout, and the Lobos can't stop it once more. But they're leading 10 and probably just want to see the clock go. Crockett will do the kicking, and Fawcett is the deepest of all Cougars, but it looks like they are trying to ready themselves for some pressure. Fawcett only on his own 45-yard line. Well, that's the Snowflake 45-yard line, pardon. As Crockett, with his blockers positioned. Pressure coming from the far side. Long snap, and it's eventually brought down, and now bounces at the Sholo 35 and dies at the 30. So they'll have 74 seconds to try to get 10 points with the Cougars.
They'll take over on offense. First and 10, Sholo.
I think that if nothing else, this ball game illustrates a little bit of the disappointment for the Cougars. So many injuries, and all of them illustrating what could have possibly been, especially with number one, who has lost for more than half of the year. When Keegan Clark is out there and healthy.
They haven't given up. They've done well.
And credit Coach Maxwell. These guys have been fighting throughout.
And been competitive while doing it.
Yeager with the snap. They're going to try to go back with now an option to pass as Clark drops that one off for Yeager, and it's caught at the 40.
He's lost
it's
it.
Dropped.
You know, Derek, we were pretty packed in here with the crowd, and it seems to me that the crowd's dissipated a little bit here tonight. I hate to see the Dodger fan, leave the game early when but it is what it is.
This is not a Dodger fan situation because the Dodgers don't play in 30-degree weather. Minute and 6 seconds left, 24-14. Just tried a little bit of trickeration. Now Yeager's going to drop back. He's pressured from behind as he moves to his left, winds up and hits Clark. And has that one caught for Mount Mobile Auto Glass. First down out to the 43.
That's from Coach Yeager, complete to number one, Keegan Clark. Clark's catching carry.
Dare to say that this drives for pride right here.
Back to the line goes Yeager. As this time handed it off Fawcett. He cuts it up and has tripped up, though he does manage to get to the 45.
Cal Fawcett for the Cougars.
But 40 seconds left, only an opportunity for another couple of plays, and this looks like it's in the deep freeze.
Lobos, Austin.
Already at the line, trying to hurry. As Fawcett again comes in motion, again gets the call, has a blocker out to midfield, but nice stop there in the open field by Green. They did get him out of bounds, so it stops with 24 seconds left, but it's academic at this point.
Academic.
Takes it right to the 50-yard line. Third down, Cholo.
Right at midfield, facing third down and a short 3. Two receivers split wide to the right. Now Fawcett coming in motion to the left. Fake the handoff as Yeager with time starts to run out, goes over the middle and nearly intercepted. Chapman was there, Ballard was there.
We'll bring a fourth down for the Cougars.
And here's fourth down with 18 seconds left. Well, Yeager demonstrating exactly what the Cougar fans have to look forward to. Again, just a sophomore. And it's been interesting here the last couple of weeks as he's been primarily under center that they've actually started throwing the ball an awful lot more.
I've actually been impressed with him. The role he's had to step up and do in a game like this on a night like tonight, great job.
Potentially the last play here as he takes the snap, starts rolling to his right, and nearly loses his footing. Now he's going to avoid a tackler as he throws it toward the near sideline. And again, Chapman there potentially to intercept, but he knocks it down. Turnover on downs. The Lobos got to come out,
go to a knee,
snap it once.
The formality of the knee.
We talked an awful lot about this last week, how impressive is the Cougars to come out and fight again. With Holbrook coming up, it was unlikely that they were going to be able to do enough to get into state, but still, all the spirit, all the fight. Clark coming out, despite the unlikelihood that they could get into the state tournament, and still fighting himself despite not being completely healthy. Again, just can't say enough about what Coach Maxwell's doing with these guys.
Well, to hold the Lobos to 24 points, it's they've averaged, I think, slightly over that. So they've done a great job defensively, play calling all around.
Ramage there takes the knee. They're shaking hands. The final's going to be 24-14. We'll tell you about it after this. It's Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 and iTalk1067.com.
That's the ball game. Final score, Sholo 14, Snowflake 24.
Who sells the #1 truck in America? Sholo Ford. That's right. Not only do they sell it, Sholo Ford is the best place to buy it. Why? Guy Hatch guarantees it. In fact, he guarantees you'll get the best deal on your next Ford car, van, or SUV as well. It doesn't matter what you buy. Sholo Ford has the best deal. Sholo Ford on the east end of the Deuce and at sholoford.com.
Orthodontist Dr. Joshua Beeler has been providing family-friendly orthodontics in Sholo and the entire White Mountains since 2006. If you need braces, stop in and see the friendly folks at Beeler Orthodontics and meet their professional staff. Dr. Beeler and his team have the latest in orthodontics technology, and they work with each patient individually to custom tailor the most effective treatment plan for the best results. Beeler Orthodontics is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile.
When you think glass, think Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. Deemer's Glass offers the best selection of quality glass with affordable prices. They do full home window packages, replacement windows, custom shower doors and enclosures, custom mirrors in many shapes, styles, and colors, glass doors and hardware, commercial glass for buildings and offices, skylights, screens, fire-rated glass for your fireplace or stove, window film, and more. Visit Deemer's Glass today on Porter Mountain Road in Lakeside or call 1-888-GLASSMAN.
Want to go fishing? Head to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. They have fishing supplies, outdoor fishing attire, and fishing gear. Plus all kinds of bait including live worms, flies, and lures. The staff are experienced anglers and they can advise you on what you need, where to go, and what type of bait the fish are biting on. Plus, pick up your fishing, camping, and boat permits. When you think fishing, think Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport. Located on Highway 260, 1 mile before the casino.
I got this.
Don't take time out of your busy day. Let Mountain Mobile Auto Glass come to you. All our technicians are certified by the National Auto Glass Safety Council. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass will give you $50 cash, free movie passes, and free
Just call
dinner.
536-5972. Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, cash back to you.
I really wanted to work with robotics. When you come here, you have to act mature and meet deadlines. It's going to help me and my associates, in which I'll be a step closer in college. I'm going to have to apply these skills to the workforce. My ultimate career goal would be to be a mechanical engineer. MPC is transforming my life.
I chose welding because there's always going to be a job and you can go so many different directions within it. The professors helped me so much with getting my skill level up to where it needs to be and helping me progress in the ways that I want to. It teaches you really to be job ready, having a good attitude, and still working hard. NPC has transformed my life by giving me a skill and a trade that I can take with me wherever I go.
At Summit Healthcare, you'll find a level of care you might not expect from a rural hospital. We've recently received 5 stars from CMS, a prestigious ranking that less than 5% of facilities in Arizona earned. Our cancer center has proven its level of advanced care with a national accreditation from the Commission on Cancer. And we continue to add more doctors and services so that you don't have to leave the mountain to find the care you need. At Summit Healthcare, we're elevating care here at home.
The Snowflake Lobos outscore the Cougars 21-7 in the second half and are able to run their record to 7-2. They're not going to get a lot of help getting ready for the final power rankings, which, again, going into the final weekend of the regular season. Next week, they're going to have an opportunity, though, with the surprising Winslow Bulldogs, who prior to this week had not lost since the first week against Blue Ridge. The surprising Winslow Bulldogs.
Debatable.
Debatable how surprising it is?
Their schedule didn't lend itself to strength of teams.
Just throw them up. Throw them up.
It'll be a great matchup. I hope you all tune in.
Lowering of the colors for the ending of the season. So if I could draw your attention to the flagpole at the south end zone.
But we may have some scores that we'll try to get to you. But in the meantime, let's take a look at what the Lobos were able to generate. Only one pass completed in the second half as the Lobos started really leaning on Brig Turley particularly. But Ramage goes 8 of 15 for 118 yards. His favorite targets in the first half, especially Nick McVicker and Cantrell, who caught 65 yards and 33 yards respectively. The big story, though, in the second half was the rushing from Brig Turley as he was able to get both of his touchdowns. That included an 18-yard run that really put the Lobos on notice, the Cougars on notice, as he finished with 106 yards on 21 carries. Taryn Green, likewise, was pretty big, 63 yards on 10 carries. I've just realized that there's some moment of reference that I was... Oh, got it. All right. Well, we'll just keep on pushing. For the Cougars on the other end, they had Colton Yeager, who was doing a majority of the quarterbacking as he went 8 of 16 for 103 yards, but he did have a costly interception that we'll talk about here shortly. His favorite target was Beeler, who went for 3 catches and 34 yards. Keegan Clark also had 3 catches for 29 yards. Most of the offense in the second half was on the ground, where Fawcett rushed for 60 yards on 14 carries. Trenton Beeler had 47 yards on 13 carries. And it was just a story of how difficult it was for the Cougars to try to get anything going with any consistency. They did have opportunities. They could not get points. You got to go back to the first half when Whipple could not get a touchdown as he had that one in and out of his hands in the back of the end zone. And then 2 catches also at the end of the first half that looked like they were both going for first downs. It's a little bit of the coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it just shows you how difficult it was for the Cougars to remain out there on the field. I think that we have Ron Everingham set to go with a couple of the victorious Snowflake Lobos as we send it down to our senior field correspondent and the Victors.
Yeah, we're down here on the field with Taryn Green and Brig Turley. Talk to me a little bit about your defense tonight. You had a big interception there, and just tell me a little bit about your defense tonight.
Well, our defense did good. We had to work through a few things, but we'd worked all week. We worked really hard all week on stopping their offense, and we did it. So I thought we did good.
I talked to Coach before the game, and he said it was a really tough week of practice. Was it one of the tougher ones? And coming into Sholo, I mean, why did you think it was necessary?
This is definitely like our most hyped week of practice. Like we worked our butts off this week. We didn't want to take any days off, and because we knew tonight wouldn't be a game that we would be able to take off. So that was just our game plan. When we wanted to come in, play tough, and we wanted to seal it away. So that's what we did.
All right, congratulations, guys, on a nice win. Yep.
All right,
back up to you guys.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Brig. And thank you, Taryn, as we take a look at some of the Bill Payan elements, especially the Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. I'm going to go right to the goal line. When Taryn Green, I felt like iced this one. You had Colton Yeager throwing into the end zone. Looked like they were trying to find a way to get it out to Keegan Clark. Great defense being supplied on the cornerbacking spot from Shandon Hatch, but with the inability to get it out to Clark despite single-man coverage, they go into traffic where Taryn Green's able to step in front and pick that off to keep the Cougars out of the end zone and preserve a 10-point lead.
That iced the game right there, Derek. It was a great job of Taryn coming over from his pass drop at middle linebacker to make that read come over and made that pick.
So that's the Beeler Orthodontics straight line play of the game. Beeler Orthodontics, live to smile, love your smile. And we take a look now at the Deemer's glass shattering hit of the game. If you need glass for your home or business, call Deemer's Glass in Lakeside. It's hands down the best place to call. Quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. Now, we talked an awful lot over the first half about Cantrell's trucking of one of the Sholo tacklers. And unless we had something better, I still like that one just because it was in the open field. He had an opportunity to try to step away from him. Instead, he just put his head down and said, I'm coming at you. And he was able to deliver what I believe is the Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game. Do you like anything different?
Cantrell's a backup quarterback, and I do like that one. I like the fact that it was just kind of thrown right out to him, and here's the sophomore backup quarterback, and you think he's going to make a juke, and he takes him right down and bulls him right over.
So they're right now holding the wood, are the Snowflake Lobos, as we talk about the wood being delivered by Cantrell. But I thought, all right. Well, here we go. So here's another potential Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game. As we're taking a look at, again, one of the Lobos is going to hand it off to Green as he starts coming from the right to the left and is able to deliver a hurt again on one of the Sholo tacklers. Yeah, that one's good, but we expect that from Green. I don't think we expect Cantrell running over anybody.
You know what, though? It's fun watching Taryn Green knock him over. It is. It was a great night for that young man. I know the stats don't, but there's so many intangibles that he brings out in front. Credit his defense. Credit his lead blocking for Brig.
Send Jason over to the Sholo huddles here.
Great night for Mr. Green.
All right, so then we are going to go with both of those. How about that team Deemer's glass-shattering hit of the game? Need glass for your home or business.
Cameron,
Deemer's
can you send
and Lakeside
Jason
is hands
over
down
the
the best
Sholo
place
side?
to call quality glass at affordable prices. Deemer's Glass. Call 1-888-GLASSMAN. And now, the players of the game, plural. Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports brings this to you. The best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain. Go to Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports south of Pine Top on Highway 260. We're doing this duel because they were making their impacts, particularly on either side of the ball, though they both had huge impacts on both sides of the ball. But we're going to give it to first Brig Turley, who again rushes for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns, 21 carries. He had a huge stop at the goal line. But having 2 huge stops in the end zone, Taryn Green, though he also rushes for 63 yards, has the interception that we already just alluded to. He also had a big stop. Remember when they bring in Keegan Clark to the Cougars, looks as if they're trying to set him up to pass. as he's only thrown 3 incompletions this year, but not buying any of that fakery. Instead, Reed and Beeler on the give, and Taryn Green getting the stop to preserve the 7-3 deficit in the second quarter. So we're going with both of those dudes as the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports players of the game. That's the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport players of the game. For the best selection of hiking, hunting, fishing, camping gear on the mountain, go to the Honda Ski and Outdoor Sports, south of Pine Top on Highway 260. Now, did we have one more interview that we were trying to get to?
Yeah, to Keegan.
All right, let's send it down.
Well, he's not ready yet.
Well, we're not ready. So let's take a look at the scoreboard here as Blue Ridge is able to hang on and is currently leading 34-12 over Holbrook. They're doing exactly what they need. It's probably not going to help them in the power rankings as they checked in at number 5, but the big one of note, Payson 28, Winslow 21, as both teams were 7-1. And the Longhorns, they're on the reel.
That's a huge game. I believe it's at home next week against Blue Ridge. Don't quote me on that, but it is that's what I mean. Payson at home next week, correct?
That's big. St. John's is leading in the fourth quarter. Oh no, we got an update. Benson has taken a lead and is now leading 20-19 over St. John's. Now tell us why you were concerned that the Redskins might be a little bit hungover.
I felt that after they go down to Thatcher and win a close one, I mean close as being 14-7 down at Thatcher, I felt like, man, they're going to come home, and a team like Benson, which they should handle, I thought potentially they could have a huge letdown. Another thing, too, is this is inching Coach Morgan to that record setting, and I worried a little bit about that being a factor, maybe playing not to lose, and I thought that could be a huge deal for St. John's this week and in their preparation. And hard to say. It's that Blue Ridge Payson game next week is just huge as we look at the scores here. I almost, being at home, have to give the nod to Payson right off the bat. Plus, they're going to climb a little bit after beating a good Winslow team. This could mean the difference, potentially, not sure, of moving them into a spot to be at home in the playoffs, which hasn't happened in Payson since, I believe, 2008.
Well, we saw them last week, and they got 2 dynamic playmakers. And
Conway is an amazing quarterback.
You're talking about somebody, even if let's just say they can somehow elevate themselves all the way up to number 8 in the power rankings, you're talking about a number 1 team who's going to have to face those guys that early in the playoffs?
Something like that, but another X factor is you've got the Yuma Catholic factor coming in. Where are they going to hit? I mean, they could potentially be Payson or could potentially see Snowflake in the first round.
All right, those are the scores. We also saw Round Valley was leading, I believe, 27-0. As we're going to go to Ron Everingham, who is now lined up with Keegan Clark.
Just down here just tell me about the emotion of the moment down here with some of your players. What are you guys feeling right now?
It just sucks because it's the last home game we're ever going to play, at least together. And especially not going to playoffs and just the way the season kind of happened. And just all of our young guys just not giving up and stuff. It's just kind of just all the season just coming out tonight. It just sucks.
What was it like for you to come back from such an injury and just show the kind of heart that you showed? What's that say about you? What's it say about this team and about this season?
I don't know. It just says a lot. I just kind of didn't want to let everyone down. But in all honesty, I think the heart just goes out to the team, and especially Colton Yeager. The kid has busted up ribs, and he's still out there throwing me balls, and he had good passes, and just everyone else beat up, and I think they're kind of the ones that deserve more of the attention because I just missed a couple games. It wasn't a big deal, but my heart goes out to them and everything. So, yeah.
Well, what you guys are going through over here, it says a lot about your team. It says a lot about you as a leader. And so congratulations on coming back. And you still got 1 game, right? And
if it doesn't get canceled. Because I don't know if Holbrook's going to play or not. So that's why this could have been it.
Gotcha. All right, well, congratulations, man. Proud of you. And
what a sight.
All right. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Ron.
No words there.
No, that's what makes these things so important is the opportunity to develop character and then see it in that young man who's been hit with so much adversity this year, to show so much of it. See him, how emotional he is. He's not going to have an opportunity to suit up for the Cougars potentially any bit more. And again, we've been saying it throughout the second half, but Coach Maxwell, man, he's been having these guys playing through all this stuff and still fighting to the very end. You hear Clark knowing exactly what the score is, in all likelihood couldn't get the state. And
but it wasn't about him. It was about his team.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about him as a leader, him as a person, him as a captain, a lot about the character of the team. They hung with a very good, potentially, probably top 4 team in the state tonight.
We will have that team for you again next week. Winslow at Snowflake. The Bulldogs, again, showing that they're real by playing these Longhorns tight. So they are going to have to have a tough one, but it's really going to provide Snowflake an opportunity to get some valuable power points and provide themselves with an opportunity to get it up there as best as they can. So
it'll be interesting to see where those power points shake out on Tuesday. To see, I think Snowflake probably with this one moves ahead of Blue Ridge back into the 4th spot. Where Payson goes is anybody's guess. Winslow will obviously drop. ALA Gilbert North won big tonight against AZ College Prep, I believe. There's a lot of football left to play. We had a score on ALA Queen Creek and Florence that we don't know whether that was right or not. So
what was the score?
I had a 7-7 from my Twitter feed, but again, that's the world according to Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. All right, here. Thanks so much for starting your weekend with us as we got our last call here at Show Low High School. 24-14, the Lobos win. We will see you next week from Snowflake as we thank Aaron Hughes for joining me and everybody in the truck. Thanks, Ron Everingham, for these great talks on the sideline. And, again, thank you for spending some time with us. I'm Derek Palmer. We'll be back with you again next week. Have a great night.
This has been Sholo Ford's presentation of high school football on iTalk 106.7 KNKI Pine Top and iTalk1067.com. Brought to you in part by Northland Pioneer College, Ace Hardware of the White Mountains, Honda Ski and Outdoor Sport, Deemer's Glass, Beeler Orthodontics, Summit Regional Medical Center, Octopus Car Wash, Mountain Mobile Auto Glass, and Little Bluebird Studios. This broadcast has been a copyrighted production of iTalk 106.7 and Country Mountain Airwaves, a Kopaniki communications station. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of this broadcast without expressed written consent of iTalk 106.7 or Country Mountain Airwaves is strictly prohibited. For more information on this game and other games around the region, go to iTalk1067.com.